The Sesh Podcast, episode 227, take 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sesh Podcast. I'm your host, Kendall. I'm already a mess today. I've already spilled like half my Diet Coke on myself, so enjoy that.
Hole in your lips.
Yeah, we're all kind of a mess today. Are you a mess today?
I was going to say, speak for yourself. I'm not a mess.
Me and Sydney are at least messes. We're in pain.
Why is Sydney a mess?
Well, I guarantee before the end of this recording, I will be a mess.
Why?
Because I spill on myself.
Yeah, we just both be
happens.
spilling. But we're also in pain.
Oh, yeah.
Because we went to a wedding this weekend.
Why are you in pain?
Because I did the fucking limbo.
I did the limbo?
I know, but I did the last level. Like, no one else wanted to do it, and I was like, I can do it.
Aren't you hyper flexible?
I am. That's why I was like, I had good confidence. And I was able to clear it. And I felt good after. But then I was like, my back is really hurting. But I can't tell, too, because I think I was lifting with bad form on Friday and Saturday.
Kendall, you can't be doing bad form.
I know. I also lifted Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I normally space out my lift sessions like every other day. But I just went a little too hard. So I'm a little sore. I'm a little tired. Alcohol, I just can't be drinking too much these days. And I didn't even drink that much. We went to a wedding this weekend for my producer for TCKR, Emily. It was a beautiful wedding. All four of us went. And I had to have a bunch of coffee because I think I accidentally took a Unisom.
I don't understand how you accidentally take a Unisom.
Because I packed it in my purse because when I'm like, especially after a hyped up event like that, I knew that I would have trouble falling asleep. And I hate that when I come home. So I was like planning to take it in the Uber and I meant to put it in my purse, but I opened my little pill container. I think I'm just so used to by habit, like when I open a vitamin or a pill or anything, I just take it immediately. And then I couldn't find it. So I was pretty sure I took it. And then I started feeling really tired at the wedding at like 8:30. And I was like, are you guys going to stay till 11?
Yeah,
I don't know.
When are you leaving? I was like, not right now.
Well, we did stay till 11 because they had coffee and I had like 3 cups of coffee. But then I was also drinking. And then by the time I got home, I was like weirdly wired, but I don't know. I like had bad sleep and I'm just kind of out of it today, to be honest. So hopefully you guys can really pull through. You can really pull through. Janelle's here too, by the way. And of course, our lovely producers, Sydney and Karelly.
Hello.
Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
How are you guys feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'm
Good.
feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling energized. I slept a lot yesterday. I was really proud of myself. I didn't overindulge in the alcohol.
We love that.
Yeah, you really did good.
Yeah, I did good.
I actually didn't drink much either. I don't even know. I just am such a lightweight.
Yeah, I was having a really great time without it as much. You know what I mean? Like usually, like I feel like I have to overcompensate.
Yeah,
especially in a setting like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. I woke up pretty sore. I don't know why. Like extremely sore. Like for some reason, like my abs. I didn't do any abs, but like
no, you did the limbo.
Yeah,
It was a limbo.
In my forearms. Maybe I was like punched in the air.
Wearing heels too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. My forearms hurt from my heels and
Your forearms hurt from your heel?
I'm just kidding, but my forearms for some reason hurt.
But your calves too.
Yes, my calves.
Earlier,
yeah, and I'm like, so just
We're
getting
just
older.
old. This is what happens when you're in your 30s.
Yeah. It's all good.
Isn't it crazy how before like wearing heels when you go out like clubbing and stuff, that was like a normal thing? I feel like nobody does that anymore.
No,
maybe
one
it's Denver.
It's Colorado.
Yeah, maybe it's Denver,
Yeah.
but
This
like
place is
nobody
so
wears
casual.
heels.
In Miami, I was there last year. Everyone's dressed up
To the nines.
To the nines.
Yeah.
In Denver, people wear like Air Force Ones and fucking Birkenstocks to the bar. Like
Yeah.
no one
Like
gives
a
shit.
Patagonia net vest and
Yeah, no
Well,
one
this was a
dressed up.
black tie event, so you had to wear heels. But what was so awesome though, she provided flip flops for dancing time.
Yes.
Which
She did.
really was
beautiful
Love
touch
the
flip-flop.
That was amazing.
My shoes were very comfortable.
I
My
was
shoes
good.
are pretty comfortable too, but I just flip flops are always going to be more comfortable for dancing, and less dangerous for me.
Did you were those the Croc
No,
heels?
I do love my Croc heels, but I also my other favorite brand of heels is Naturalizer.
Yeah.
They're really, really comfortable. I have several pairs.
Where do you
of
get those from?
Their website, naturalizer.com.
You can also-
I'm guessing. This is not sponsored.
You can also find them at like DSW and
Oh,
like
yeah,
and like
yeah.
Macy's and Nordstrom and stuff.
You guys
too.
heard of the brand Soda from
Yeah.
Amazon?
Oh yeah, I've got some of those too. Those Soda
Mhm.
Heroes are nice too. The chunky ones.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Comfortable.
They are. Soda.
Yeah.
I had Chinese laundry from Ross.
Nice.
Oh, I've
Those are
heard that's
mine.
a good brand too, actually.
That's the brand name Chinese Laundry.
Chinese
You haven't
laundry.
heard of that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. They have good heels.
That's a popular one, yeah.
Mine were Target.
I loved all of our shoes and all of our outfits.
We
I know.
looked slay.
We did. It was a
Very
beautiful
cute
wedding
for us.
too.
Yeah, gorgeous wedding, beautiful venue.
God, she did a dance with her mom. I think it was the alcohol because at that point I was still drinking, and I had to walk out of the room. She did a dance with her mom to the song "Mother" by Casey Musgraves. I think it's called "Mother." And even as soon as I heard the first couple notes of it, I was like, "Oh, I'm fucked." I was like heavily sobbing, and then I was like, if I don't like step out and like clear my mind, I'm gonna just continue this vibe. But it was just so beautiful.
It was really cute.
We're so happy for them. But anyway, guys, we have a lot to go over
Yes,
today.
we
There's
do.
like drama is popping off left and right.
Yep.
There are so many things. We have like a couple different story updates. I think three, I guess, of our stories are kind of like updates to past stories. And then some drama between Austin McBroom and Catherine Paez. I thought it was Paez.
Pies.
P-A-I. Anyway, the Ace family people.
Mm-hmm.
It continues, and it's been a while since we've talked about Austin McBroomstick. That shit show.
Broomstick.
He's awful.
Yeah, he's been cheating.
Mm-hmm. He's been cheating.
He's been cheating.
Which we all knew, but now it's confirmed. And then we have some stuff on Brett Fairley. Maybe you forgot about him. Turns out he's in jail right now. Okay, so things have taken quite a turn there. Speaking of jail, Chris Brown is in jail right now as well.
He should be in jail forever, that big bitch.
I know, he really, really should. It's so crazy. So a lot to say on that. And then we have a huge Kayla Malec, James Charles update. She dropped some of her thoughts since now that the court has wrapped up and everything, and Evan Johnson's in jail. She's got proof. She got receipt.
Yeah, James Charles looks like a dummy.
Yeah.
Like a real weirdo, which
he always has been looking that way.
Like, he strategically left out some details when he did his little apology, statement video.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make him look good.
Mm-mm.
Makes him look like a real fucking weirdo.
Which is really funny that he posted what he did, his like response, because it's like, dude, you must have known that this all would be disproven, and she has receipts and stuff. It's really bad, dude. And it's like we said last time, it's James Charles. We all fucking knew there's probably more to the story, that he was probably lying, because that's what he does. I think, in my opinion, James is like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't use such strong words, but he is just such a terrible person.
Yeah.
He really is one of the worst out there.
Well, here's which we'll get into this, but like what he does is really crummy, but he also is like really, in my opinion, not like, where is your PR team, dude? Because even if your behavior is genuinely how you feel, people should be telling you to at least pretend.
Yes.
Like you don't actually have these thoughts, feelings, and like at least pretend and be on your good behavior, because you are famous, very famous. Like, why? Who's letting you be this dumb?
I wonder how much he tells his PR team. Like, do they know these things? He probably doesn't bring it to them until it's like blowing up, and then they're like, "Fuck, James, you're an idiot."
Yeah, God, I guess so. I don't know. You would just think he'd be like, let me not invite Kayla's abusive ex to my house.
Yeah, you would have think.
Let me not send selfies of myself being like, I want to come to Hawaii. What would you do if I was in Hawaii? Like, just don't do that.
No, James Charles is a messy bitch. And really, at the end of the day, I just think he's a terrible human. And I can't believe he's had this whole resurgence. It's honestly, it's a real failure of us as a society that we're like, okay, let's give him a second chance. After everything that he's done in the past, he's just, ugh.
We'll get into all of that.
We will. So where should we start, guys? Where do you want to
start with Bretty Boy, since it's just kind of a quick update here.
Now, if you haven't seen our coverage on Brett, I'm not going to explain everything to you, certainly. So maybe go back. But it's been some of the most interesting drama on TikTok these days.
So, like, basically, Brett met this chick. She convinced him to essentially... Her name is Maria. Right. Her name is Maria. She convinced him, according to him, to have a baby with her, to be a sperm donor, essentially. And according to him, she made it clear that there would be no strings attached. He wouldn't have to have any involvement. All she wanted was a baby and to use his sperm. So anyways, she ends up getting pregnant. She has the kid. And then according to Brett, she goes back on her word and she starts getting really mad because he's not an involved parent. And it gets really messy. All this stuff happens and they're going back and forth and they're pissed at each other and they're, threatening to sue. And then turns out that Brett's not even the father at all.
And he thinks that she knew this all along.
Right.
He's been keeping him in this basically financial scheme and, and extorting him.
Yes.
I mean, it's really a fucked up story.
So then he comes out with the whole thing. He's like exposing her. It's a complete disaster.
There's so many more details.
Yeah,
We don't have to go over it all.
We'll link the episode below if you want to watch it. But anyways.
On May 8th, Brett Fairley was arrested in Harrison County, Mississippi on multiple charges, okay? So the primary charge is contempt of court for failing to comply with the court-ordered support ruling. And this includes an alleged violation of a restraining order. Basically, he was not supposed to be talking about the whole paternity fraud scandal online, but he did anyway. And he acknowledged it. I mean, he opened the whole series with I'm probably going to go to jail for this or something like that.
Right.
So he was right. He did. And as far as we know, he's still in jail today.
We are not 100% sure. It's not, there's different sources I've looked far wide. Like Reddit says some things and some people say, oh, it's July. He's going to be let out July. But I
kind of don't think he is my guess. But
he'd
maybe
probably just I'm not going to post another single thing after being in jail.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Is
I'd be kind of surprised if they kept his ass. Oh, you all right, pal?
Wrong pipe.
With your Kendall's drinking 2 different drinks and it's grossing me out. Usually it's fine, but you're drinking tomato juice and Diet Coke at the same time. That's weird.
They actually go very well together.
Okay.
I've been going sip and sip.
Why don't you add some Prime energy into that?
Ew, Prime.
They were in our fridge.
Yeah, because Logan Paul sends me PR.
Logan Paul
writes a little message to me every time. He says, "I love you, Kendall."
Who does he actually?
No. No, I don't know why they send me PR. It's kind of funny. They're not bad. I won't lie. That one's the cherry freeze. I really like the rainbow pop or whatever, the rocket pop.
Is it good?
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, some of these taste pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Kendall, is your voice okay?
Huh?
Is your voice okay?
I don't know. Does it sound okay?
It sounded a little crisp there for a second. Yeah.
I don't know. It'll get better as we go. The more I talk, maybe you should talk for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, we're not sure if he's in jail. I kind of doubt it though. But whatever. Regardless.
What do you think of his mugshot?
Mugshot?
Yeah.
It's not great.
Interesting lips.
Yeah. What is?
Yeah, it's not great. He's kind of like.
It's almost like they took it before he was ready.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, can I get a redo at least?
Yeah. He's like. Yeah. Maybe he's like, my lips are sealed. You won't hear any more from me, I promise.
Uh-huh. And he was also charged with 3 additional boating charges. Now, this happened back in 2020, but they had been delayed due to the pandemic-related court backlogs and all that disaster. So,
boating charges, that's interesting. So what, boating without a license or speeding?
Boating
or
while intoxicated.
But yeah.
Oh,
DUI.
Is that called a BUI?
A BUI.
That's right. Boating under the influence.
Not good, Brett. Not good.
Yeah, they're not connected to the paternity dispute, but they got lumped in once he was arrested. Now, Hadley, who is his current girlfriend,
Nurse Hadley, she's known for online.
Which, if you again don't know that whole backstory, I just go watch our coverage on it. But she made a comment on one of Brett's Instagram posts. So she said he was arrested for telling a story and for child support, even though he's off the birth certificate. Also, we were nowhere near the water today and he had no warrants. I am beside myself. And he's posted 10, at least 10.
Oh, it was 13.
Yeah.
We were at 13, I think.
Yeah.
They all got deleted, which I'm not surprised. I'm sure they were like, you have to take those down, bro.
Yeah, I feel really bad for both of them, honestly.
Yeah.
I know we started getting Brett is super annoying, but I think the whole situation is fucked. And
I feel
what
bad
his family went through. Yeah, I mean, the child lost more than anyone else.
Huh.
The whole situation was really fucked and for him. But at the same time, he should have made sure that all of this was done and dusted, over before he got online and tried to spill the tea in this massive series. I feel bad for Hadley, though. She seems like a nice person. I don't know much about her, so take that.
Who knows, though, if he's still in jail. I don't know. Reddit claims to think he's coming out in July. I don't know.
Well, you can't even see any of his videos now. You'd have to go to our episode if you want to watch what we pulled.
Yeah, I'm sure they're re-uploaded somewhere.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but he had to take everything down.
Yep.
So,
womp, womp, womp. Finding the right therapist as well as someone to help manage your medication is so important. It is truly life-changing when you find the mental health care provider that you really feel like you can trust and just understands you so well. However, it's not always easy to find that person out there. Whether that's long wait times or high costs and difficulty finding the right provider, it can make getting help feel very overwhelming, and that's where Rula comes in. Rula connects you with in-network licensed therapists that accept most major insurance, and their users typically have a copay of $15 per session, making therapy more accessible than ever. And with Rula, you can really find the right therapist for you, because that is so important. Like I said, having that connection with your therapist is really so crucial to having a good experience in general. And Rula partners with a network of over 15,000 therapists and psychiatrists nationwide, enabling you to find your personalized solution and the right therapist for you based on your needs, preferences, and state requirements. And Rula is committed to supporting you and staying with you every step of the way on your mental health journey. From finding the right therapist to helping you schedule appointments and monitoring your progress, Rula is there to help. Rula is committed to seeing you succeed in reaching your therapy goals, making sure that their providers are carefully screened and vetted, monitoring the quality of their care, and helping you monitor your progress in therapy. And what's really unique about Rula specifically is that most online therapy platforms focus on connecting clients with licensed therapists, but they often fall short when it comes to help with medication management. But Rula has a wide range of licensed professionals, including psychiatrists, who will help you get the care you need. And even if you're not exactly sure what you need, Rula is the place to go for your mental health care, because they'll make sure that they help you figure out exactly what you're needing. If you've been on the fence about trying therapy, or maybe you've tried it in the past but didn't have a good experience for whatever reason, or maybe you liked your therapist but they didn't take your insurance anymore, I highly suggest trying out Rula for yourself. Join the thousands who have already turned to Rula for support on their journey to better mental health and well-being. Getting started is easy. Just visit rula.com/sesh today. And when you sign up, they'll ask how you heard about them. Please support our show by letting them know that we sent you. It's a simple way to help us while you take the first step toward the care you deserve. Go to rula.com/sesh now and connect with a licensed therapist who truly cares, because your mental health matters.
Okay, so moving on. On May 15th, this last Friday, right? Was it Friday? Josh watched all of them with me.
It was
a
Friday.
3-part series.
Thursday.
Oh, it was Thursday?
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, okay. I didn't see them until Friday. But damn, she came with... she set the record
She said,
straight.
Hold my purse, bitch. Okay? I got something to say.
But yeah, on the 15th, she posted 3 videos on TikTok spilling the tea on the whole James Charles situation and her ex-boyfriend, Evan Johnson. And she said that she wanted to wait before posting, just take a minute, enjoy what happened in court, be able to, revel in her victory. He's finally behind bars, motherfuckers in jail.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, James couldn't even wait an hour after the court ruling to go ahead and drop his response video and make it all about him, which is just so fucked up. That's the tip of the iceberg for James. And she starts by explaining, her relationship with James, what it was like. Because one thing he was like, me and Kayla were never friends. We were not friends. We're like acquaintances. We're not that close. And she was like, yeah, I never said we were best friends. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But yeah, she just basically said we're acquaintances. So we can hear it straight from her. We're going to play a lot of her clips.
By now, everybody knows about the situation with me and James. And everybody has told their side of the story except me. And in my opinion, I was the one fucked over. So it's only fair for me to tell my side of the story, how I was fucked over. And I wanted to wait a little bit, have a little bit more time to just relish in the fact that I won in court. But the response video was posted an hour after I announced that I won my court case, 1 hour. So to start off, I would not consider me and James to be best friends at all. I don't even think I'd consider us close friends. We've collabed a few times. I went over to his house, 9 months ago to help him promote his company on live stream. We would text here and there about certain things. It was definitely not like we were best friends. It's kind of like that one person that's in your class at school that you're mutuals with. Y'all are acquaintances. I don't think that excuses anything that happens in my opinion, but that's the best way to describe it. We definitely were not best friends. We were not that close, but we were acquaintances. But this all starts almost immediately when I made me and Evan's relationship public on TikTok. So I posted a video with Evan next to me, and me and James have never DM'd on TikTok. The only previous messages we had on TikTok was us collab posting from when we would film together when I started my Glow Up series, like I was just talking about. And he like sends me my video. I don't know how you do it. Like he sent me the video and then under it, he said, "Girl, who is this?" And I was like, "Oh, this new guy that I met. I think I'm in love. Ha 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 ha." Then a month and a half later, he slides up on another video of me and Evan together. We have not DM'd on TikTok since this. It's a video of us dancing together at Yosemite, and James slides up and says, "Girl, he's so hot." And I'm just like, haha, yeah, whatever, cool. So at that point, that's like the only time that we would text was about him saying how hot Evan was, which is like, whatever. I didn't care. I didn't think anything of it, whatever.
Okay, so there you go. He basically is not shy to the fact that he thinks that her man's very attractive.
He's such a horny fuck. I'm sorry. Like, he just is, what the hell, dude? Especially after how messy he's been in the past, you'd think you just really keep it together.
That's what I'm saying.
Degree.
That's
like,
why
you're so stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Just shut your mouth.
You're
Lock
so
it up,
lucky
James.
that after everything you've done, you still managed to garner 40 million TikTok followers, and seemingly people were like just forgetting about it. Such a failure on all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
well, not us, but just people in general who were like, "Oh, he's changed." Well, okay, come on. It's fucking James, dude.
Yeah, clearly he hasn't. When he's like, "We were just friends. We sat on the couch." Oh, but you were literally calling him super hot too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And she starts to make this point of like, yeah, you invited him as a friend. Meanwhile, you've been in my DMs being like, he's so fucking hot. And then the selfie that he sends him really just takes it up. That's when my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God, James, what the fuck are you doing?
Done. Like, why did you even try to make this response knowing that she's going to bring all of this up later?
Stupid.
Oh, he's so stupid.
So
dude.
she goes on to share about when she, Evan, Emma, and Brennan went to a party, and guess who was there? Jamesy boy was there. So let's watch what she says about that and what happened at the party.
So fast forward to October, and me, Evan, Emma, and Brennan all get invited to a birthday party. We get there, and lo and behold, James is there. And Evan and James have not met at this point, obviously. The only thing that's been said is how hot James thinks Evan is, which is like, fine, whatever. So I see James, I say hi to him, and I introduce them to each other. And they're just talking for a fat minute. I don't know what really they were talking about. I wasn't really in the conversation. I was talking to Lila. I was talking to my other friends. I wasn't really in the conversation. And I don't know how accurate this is. I was not listening to the conversation, but Evan did tell me after that James was just saying how Evan was the hottest guy at the bar and he was the hottest guy there. I don't know how true that is. I don't know, but that's what I was told James was saying, is just how hot he was. And once again, I brush it off. Haha, funny, whatever. Like, but then 2 months after that, I get another DM from James. On December 17th, I had posted a video of us at Hawaii together, and James, once again, our only DMs is him once again being like, "Oh my God, he's so beautiful." So literally, the only DM we have in the past year is him saying how hot my boyfriend is. Cool, whatever. Just like, what the, like looking at this shit now, what the fuck? So now from December, it's January. And me, Brennan, Emma, and my boyfriend are in Hawaii. And this was the trip that we ended up breaking up, and all of that shit happened. It's about the third night that we're there. And I don't know if I'm allowed to include this. I'm going to anyways. But we're all sitting on the balcony of our Airbnb talking. And Evan starts saying that James is DMing him on Instagram. And immediately I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you DMing James? Like, immediately I'm just like, fuck no. Like, you're not going to do that. That's weird in my opinion. And at this point, our relationship was basically already over. And even Brennan was like, and Emma were like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you DMing him on Instagram? So we look over at the phone, and Evan sends James a picture on Instagram. So, like, you know how you snap on Snapchat? Like, doing that on Instagram, like sending pictures back and forth. And Evan is like, you should go to Hawaii with us. And James sends back this saying, like, can you pause that? Come to Hawaii.
Yeah, I need to zoom in on that.
Oh yeah,
my God.
baby.
If you're just listening, he's basically holding his phone in 2 hands and doing like kissy lips, and it says, "Why should I go to Hawaii?"
It's so
like,
flirty.
Yeah.
Of course it is. What else would it be? Like,
Why should I come to Hawaii?
Yeah,
he's
why should
like,
I come?
Tell me, daddy. Why? Dude, he's the fucking worst.
Why should I come to Hawaii?
Did he not remember that he had
Well,
sent
should I
this?
And that, for the first time, is when I was like, what the fuck? And I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they continued to text throughout the night. I was not like caring enough to go through his phone. I was just like, why are you messaging him? And I just red flags. It was just so fucking weird. Because mind you, at this point, me and James don't text. Like, me and James aren't even texting like that. James is only texting me to say how hot he is. And now he's sending him snaps over Instagram saying, why should I come to Hawaii? Like, that's fucking weird. I would only do that if I'm like trying to fuck or if I'm trying to flirt.
Exactly.
You know? Like, it was just weird. I do know that all of their texts are over Instagram.
Okay. So there we have it. James, kissy face, why should I come?
It's been so
I'm
funny.
Gonna come.
What's been hilarious too is I think it's just in the last week, TikTok added a feature where you can comment pictures underneath. Have you seen this?
No.
I sent it to you over the weekend and you said you saw it.
Wait.
People are commenting that picture of James on all of his.
Yes.
You can leave a comment with a picture.
Right.
So all of his replies are just that picture.
Yes.
I wonder if he forgot he had
It's a
taken
great
this.
picture.
Like, does he just forget that all of this stuff is like your apology is not going to, your response is not going to make any sense when she brings forward all these things.
It's a fantastic picture.
I wonder if he didn't know that he showed, everyone. But
Yeah.
I mean, still, it's dumb for him to send it.
Stupid.
Oh my God. He's just such an idiot.
So she continues on saying that 2 weeks after this, she and Evan had broken up. And then the day after the breakup, James reached out to Kayla asking about the we've talked about this before, but reached out about collaborating with Evan and her to be part of like the painted.
promo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, in James's little apology accountability video, he shows some of the screenshots of that. But let's go ahead and watch it from Kayla's point of view.
So fast forward, literally 2 weeks past this, me and Evan have broken up. And literally the day after we break up, James texts me. And he basically is asking me and Evan to be a part of this painted commercial video. And it was supposed to be like me and Evan, and it was like a couple thing, and it was for Valentine's Day. So I respond, and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but we just broke up. Ha ha ha. Basically, the first thing he says in response is, can I have him now? So yeah, do you want to be in a painted video with your man? I explained that we broke up. I was going to do a 30-part series. And mind you, he is the only person that I told, because this is a day after we officially broke up, he is the only person I told about a, quote, 30-part series that I was going to film about what I went through. He goes, what? I go, girl, he's fucking crazy. And then there we go. What happened? Can I have him now? Once again, didn't really think much of it, but my senses were a little bit heightened now after the whole Hawaii Instagram DMing situation, but whatever. Then tell him, imagine the worst things a human can do. It would take hours to text, but you'll see this series soon. He then asks again about if I'm actually doing a series, which I'll explain why. That has a lot to do with more going on. But he asks again about the series, then says, I'm sorry. And I go, oh, just wait. I gave this man a platform based off his lies and abuse. I'm gonna wait to heal from it and then clock it, which I did do. And then he goes, shit, I'm sorry, Kayla. And I said, you're good. Thank you. That was the last time we texted until he flew Evan out to California. But in these, I made it pretty clear that Evan had fucked me over. I brought up abuse, the worst thing a human can do. I mean, I obviously did not go into depth with what I had went through. At this point, like James said in his video, my friends didn't even know, my family didn't even know the full story. Nobody knew the full story. And obviously, I don't expect him to sit there and ask, oh, well, what happened? I don't expect him to do that. I get feeling uncomfortable in that situation. But I made it crystal fucking clear that I was fucked over in a pretty big way. And holy fucking shit, I do not want to have to make a part 2. But I'm at 9 minutes and 47 seconds, so I'm going to have to. And also, shut the fuck up. I'm not on the creator program. I'm not getting paid for any of this shit. I'm just clocking the fucking tea.
Yeah, I'd be like, monetize, let's go.
No, literally, all of her videos, 12 million, 13.8, 18 million.
Yeah,
like,
she making bank off this.
She should be. Now, okay, so I'm a little bit confused, and I may have just missed something here, but when because James originally released that screenshot, right, of their text, did he cut it off before she said the abuse?
No.
So he kept that in there and then still was like...
And he acknowledged kind of like...
idiot.
He kind of was like, I know that was really stupid. Like, I didn't know. I thought that maybe she just meant cheating or something. Like, I didn't really know.
She said abuse.
And the worst thing a human can do. Yeah. No, he left that in
It's not
there.
just really stupid.
Yeah.
It's... You're a horrible person.
Well, he did admit, he's like, I just also didn't really care. Fucking James. It's really funny that not once does he compliment her. It's always compliment her boyfriend.
How creepy is that? Like, what a just a bad person.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's an insane thing to say. And then he just shows you what a horrible person he
terrible.
is. I just
Trash.
can't believe that here in 2025, we're talking about another James Charles cancellation. Like, a cancellation just doesn't mean anything. Even if you do stuff as bad as engaging with minors the way that he did. I mean, it's like pedophilic. What the fuck? And then now he's just back in action and people are like, oh, we're over that now.
Yeah.
And some people were even, this was so annoying. Like, after he posted his response, there were all these people like, I believe him. I'm refollowing him now. And then now they're like, oh no, I'm unfollowing him. It's like, God, you guys, do you have a brain? Do you remember anything? Unless they're just so young, they don't remember his past. But it's just depressing almost that.
That's not an excuse. That you can look it up.
Right. And it's like, I mean, I would have understood if he was able to still like Colleen Ballinger. God, I just took a look at her vlogs last night. I don't know why she randomly popped in my mind. I was like, what is she doing? And she's still like vlogging, but she gets like 30,000 views. Like,
damn.
Is she really like completely fell off? But James just kept on going.
James is really good at being entertaining and somehow weaseling his way out of things. And I hope by me saying that I'm not trying to compliment him, but he is very good at making entertaining, crazy, clickable things. Like, that's literally a fact. Look at his fucking analytics on his TikTok. He gets a zillion views per video. And his YouTube channel, I think, still does very, very well.
Why do people like it? He's so annoying. Just his voice.
No, I know. He's very annoying.
Like, nothing about his content is appealing to me. He comes across as so fake. Like, James to me doesn't even seem like a real person. He's like a soulless being.
Well, clearly. I mean,
obviously.
What he did to Kayla, I was like,
yes.
Yeah, you can't have a soul and be doing shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But just like, there's no
but there's
light
something
behind the eyes.
There's like
what do
something
people see?
about him that people really gravitate towards.
Why?
I don't know. I agree. It's fucking weird. And especially like, I don't know. He's just like he's like a cockroach.
James Cockroach. I was just thinking that earlier.
Well, hopefully this will really have a dent, at least. I'm like, a dent, hopefully.
I don't know.
Because even then, so last week when you were talking about it, I think his follower count got to like 39 million. It's back to 40.8 or 40.7.
Yeah.
So I saw something earlier today.
Doesn't
they were
fucking matter.
It doesn't matter. Either people are just refollowing him or he's like buying follows.
No, he's not.
Or maybe
buying.
people are like tuning in. They like want to be able to see if he responds. They're like, let me follow him so I can see it.
Yeah, that could be it.
But like, how do you go on from what he did, everything that he did, to having like, who's agreeing to help produce a brand for him? The painted thing.
Anyone, if you write them a check.
I guess so.
Someone will do it.
And people really buy it and stuff?
I think so.
I don't know, I think. I mean, I've never... Is it just online? I think it's online.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just like something about him that people are like gravitate toward, and they think he's like really entertaining. I'm not trying to stick up for the dude at all. Fuck the dude. I think he's terrible. But like, you can't deny the fact that for some reason he's still uber successful.
No, obviously it's just the math of it all. But
right.
I don't get it. Nothing about his I guess I haven't really watched much of his content, but every time I hear his voice or see his face, I feel like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what do people see that they were like want to click follow and stay up to date on what James is doing?
No, I know. But it's so weird because like the fact that the friendship formed between them after Kayla was crystal clear about the relationship ending, and then like if you look at the past of, oh, he's just been DMing her like, oh, he's so hot, and then he tries to backtrack and be like, oh, I was just trying to be friendly towards him and like try and help him because he was in a really dark spot. It's like,
shut
no,
up.
you weren't,
Shut
dude, because you literally publicly admitted to the fact that you had a giant crush on him.
Yeah.
There's DMs of him being like, he's so hot. Why should I come to Hawaii? And then you're gonna come back and be like, oh, well, I was just trying to, extend an olive branch because I felt bad for him because he was really depressed. Fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
And Kayla alluded to the fact that terrible things happened in their relationship.
She straight said abuse.
And the worst thing a person could do. How much more do you need than that?
I don't expect him to want to know the full story. I get being uncomfortable doing that, but I 100% think that in these messages, I made it crystal fucking clear that what he put me through was not okay. It was not normal, and it was an abusive relationship. And no, we were not best friends. No, I wouldn't even consider us close. We were acquaintances, and he knew me more than he knew Evan. He met Evan through me. at the end of the day, he knows me more than he knows Evan. So it's like, with that information, with what I told you, it should have been okay, I understand, and move on. There should not be a second part to this. It should have ended right there, and then none of this shit would have happened. This wouldn't be a fucking drama. It ended where it should have. And in my opinion, if you have good morals, it would have ended there. I know people in my life that I have, like, am acquaintances with, and they would not do that to me, and I would not do that to them. I would not do this to people that I've even collabed with once. I wouldn't do that to somebody. So in my opinion, it should have fucking ended there.
That's such a good point, because it is weird, obviously, like, James DMing her, being like, oh, he's so hot, oh, he's so hot. The weird selfie that he sent to Evan. But then, like, that should have been it. Once she said, yeah, he abused me and did terrible things to me, that should have been the end of that. So the fact that there's a lot more that happens after that is so fucking crazy and just makes James look like such a terrible, terrible person.
I mean, but everyone knew that he was a terrible person. Like, she's like, if you have any morals, he doesn't have morals. The moral compass is gone. I don't think he have. I mean, remember when all of that happened, his like the last stuff, his brother stopped talking to him completely.
I don't even like remember half, like, it was so long ago.
I know.
I don't remember that. His brother did?
Yeah, his brother like cut him out of his life. There's a whole, I think it was a Vogue article. You guys might be able to find it. But I believe they like rekindled their brotherly bond at some point. But yeah, his brother was like, fuck you.
Damn.
It was bad. Everything he did was so bad.
Yeah. So a week after the text exchange began between Kayla and James, where he brought up the collab, Kayla shares that she and Evan were still in touch. And during their last phone call, Evan mentioned something only one person could have known. Okay? And she also shares that she saw a snap of Evan at James's house. So let's go ahead and watch, because remember, the 30-part series thing is very important, because she just said that James is the only person that she mentioned that to.
Yep.
So watch this.
Interesting how that worked.
So a week after I send those text messages, me and Evan are broken up, obviously, but we were not on no communication yet. And so this was, I literally, the day before I go live and say that I was in an abusive relationship, this was the day before I officially made it no contact and realized, holy shit, what, like, I wake up, basically. So me and Evan have our final call. And this is when Evan says to me, if you tell people what I did to you, that means you never love me. That's when he said all of that on the phone. It was our last ever conversation. But in the beginning of that phone call, while we're talking, he brings up me making a 30-part series. And I immediately am like, how the fuck do you know that? And he quote said a 30-part series. The only fucking person that I texted about making a 30-part series was James.
Boom.
James was the only person I told about making a, quote, 30-part series. Once again, I don't know how true this is. He was abusive. He was, like, literally, like, we all know by now. But Evan told me that James had sent him screenshots of our messages warning Evan that I was going to make a 30-part series. Once again, don't know how true that is, but it makes fucking sense, because on the phone, Evan literally said, so are you going to make that 30-part series about me? And in the text messages, once again, in the messages, I quite literally quote, tune in for the 30-part Who the Fuck Did I Marry series. Like, the fuck? So, allegedly, apparently, from what I was told, is that right after sending those text messages telling James that we broke up, James went and DM'd him on Instagram, sent him those text messages to warn him, and then they started to create a friendship.
What the fuck?
And obviously, that forms to be true when about a month after all of this, I still have not spoken out publicly. The only thing I've done is go on live and say that I was in an abusive relationship. I was not ready to talk about the details of it. Still healing, okay? But I'm scrolling on Snapchat and I see that Evan had posted a Snapchat in the exact area that James lives, in a backyard that looked identical to James's backyard. And immediately I was like, there's no fucking way. Because this was about a month after I had been told that they were DMing. why are y'all DMing for a fucking month? The fuck? Well, I text James and I'll just green screen them again. And mind you, the last time that we texted was me telling him that we broke up, okay? I text him on March 1st saying, this is so random. Hope you're doing good. Are you with Evan? He says, what? Your ex Evan? Doesn't say yes, doesn't say no. I said, yes. Posted a picture, looked like your backyard. He goes, why would Evan be in my backyard? Later to find out that he was in his backyard and that James had flown him out to California and they spent the entire fucking weekend together.
That part just like sent me over. I was like, what the fuck? How stupid are you?
The fact that you also hit up Evan was like, hey, just letting you know she's about to expose your ass 30 parts.
That is
dropping.
so
That is so fucked up.
Especially after you knew. She said this is an abusive relationship and he's like, big warning.
Yeah, big warning.
Yeah.
And then why don't you come and fly out and we can hang out in my backyard?
Yeah, he's like, look, me and you are cut of the same cloth. We're both bad people. I can help you navigate
that
this
is
shit.
so bad.
And then the fact that she tries to play dumb, and then he manipulated me.
Yeah, and then she calls him out and he says, why would he be in my backyard?
How are you going to lie about that? You know this is going to come out, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
God, James is such a dirtbag.
In his video, too, remember he was like, the moment that I had to lie to Kayla, I kicked him. He left the next morning.
Right.
And I, went to her or whatever. And
why are you lying?
Yeah, he's literally lying.
Because obviously, he's like, he tries to play the whole well, I was manipulated. I didn't think he was a bad person. I was confused. You clearly knew.
Told you.
But you clearly also believed it because if you genuinely thought he didn't do anything wrong, then you would have told Kayla, yeah, he's at my house.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
what's wrong?
Right.
Is he not supposed to be at my house?
No, so you knew there was something wrong with you having him there. Maybe in his mind he thought the wrong part was the fact that it was her ex.
Right.
Or is he diabolical to know how bad it is housing and coaching an abuser through this expose that's about to come out?
So bad. After she saw that snap that Evan posted, he asked James, and even though James was like, no, he's not at my house. No. She was like, okay, well, that's just so sketchy. So she went and drove by his house. She said that she didn't see anything, but anyways, that's just another side note.
He is such a slime ball. He only cares about himself and getting ass. That's really what it's all about.
And he says your ex, Evan, as if he has no idea who he is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
the one that you...
Evan? He's like,
the
next
one that
to me in the kitchen. You mean the one in my house, in my backyard?
The one I've been obsessed with for months that I want to go to Hawaii and fuck? Okay.
Oh my God. And what other Evan would she be talking about after everything that she's been through?
Right.
God,
he's like,
Evan,
doesn't...
Not ringing a bell. Not ringing a bell. No, not ringing a bell.
I'm looking at an Evan right now, but not that Evan, right?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. He is just... Oh my God. I hope this is the end of James. I really, really do. It probably won't be, but...
Wishful thinking.
I know. I can dream, right?
No, I don't think so.
It's just sad. What the fuck?
It gets worse.
You can do anything. I mean, clearly we learned that from Chris Brown.
You can do anything.
You can do anything.
With enough money.
What was the quote? You can do anything. You can grab their pussies.
That's right. And when you're rich, they'll let you do anything.
Yeah,
grab by the pussy and look, president.
Yep. It truly means nothing. It truly means nothing. You can be an abusive fuck,
I mean, you literally can't. We fucking elected one for the second time.
Twice. Round 2, baby.
Who has been charged with felonies, okay? And he's running the fucking country right now. Not to get political, but also, to get political. What the fuck?
Yeah, I shouldn't be so shocked by James Charles getting followers.
Right. Why are we so shocked we literally elected an abuser? Okay.
Where do we go so wrong in society that we're just like, okay, that's fine. We'll just move on from that, especially multiple things.
Because people hate women.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that at least with Donald Trump. And then I don't know what the fuck James, because James didn't do it to women.
I feel like James hates women too.
Yeah.
High key.
Seems like.
I think so. So I have tried several mobile payment apps over the years, and there are so many options out there. And none of them, in my opinion, compare to Cash App. And that's why I exclusively use Cash App. I love it so much. I feel comfortable using it. It's easy to use. I feel safe using it. It's easy to manage. I like the way it looks, the way it's so easy to interface with. Really, guys, making money moves should just be easy. And that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly, a way more personalized app than all the other ones out there. No extra hoops to jump through, no extra stress. All the tools are right there to help you cash in. Plus, sending your money with Cash Cash App actually feels safe because they look out for you. If something seems sketchy or they see that you might be sending money to a potential scammer, they'll warn you and make you think twice before hitting send. It's like having a personal bodyguard for your cash. You can even spice up your payments with custom text, stamps, and backgrounds, because why should paying your friend for brunch be so boring? So if for whatever insane reason you don't already have Cash App, you guys, just download it from your phone's app store and sign up, and then enter our code SESH10 in your profile and send $5 to a friend, and you'll get $10 for free just for getting started. And for a limited time only, new Cash App users can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. And for real, guys, there's no catch. All you got to do is download Cash App and sign up. Use our exclusive referral code, which is SESH10 in your profile, and send $5 to a friend in 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App.
Okay, so anyways, another month passes, and that's when Kayla posted her "He Doesn't Love You" videos. And still no word from James after those videos go out, which is fucking crazy. Okay, let's hear her break down the timeline.
Yeah.
Because seriously, things just get worse from here.
Yeah.
That entire weekend that they're together, I drive past James's house to see if I could see anything, because I was like, I need fucking proof. Like, I know they're together, but I need proof because I'm so pissed. Obviously, don't see anything. And at this point, I'm just... I don't know what's going on. I have no proof, but I have a gut feeling that they are together, that they are hanging out. Fast forward another month. Me and James do not text. Nobody ever comes clean about anything. Nobody says anything, nothing. I release my "He Doesn't Love You," and I talk about everything that he had done to me. And me and James still are not talking. He still does not text me and say, hey, I'm sorry, doesn't try to explain himself, nothing. And in my opinion, that's because he didn't think he'd get caught. He didn't think I'd find out. So he had no reason to tell me firsthand. And that's why this shit really pisses me off. I end up texting James, asking to FaceTime for a segment on my podcast. Literally the next text, a month later, after me asking if he had flown my ex-boyfriend out, I literally just say, hey, totally normal conversation. He does not bring it up. Nothing. At this point, I don't have proof to back up my theory.
And then the weekend of Coachella comes, and which, remember, is the busiest time for James.
Yes,
busiest time of the year.
Booked, slammed.
Busiest time of the year for a James boy. Okay. And Kayla shares that a video was posted exposing that James had flown Evan out to LA for that weekend. Zach Sellers, remember Zachy boy?
Oh, Zach.
His video was the one that exposed this, right? We all remember he was like a very famous influencer. Hey, sisters.
Hi, sisters.
Mm-hmm. Stupid. Okay, so after the video was posted, James immediately reaches out to Kayla. Why didn't you bother reaching out before? I don't know. Why not when she puts those fucking videos out on exposing everything that he did? I don't know.
Because he still wants to get some ass.
And then like literally had to wait until Zach Sellers name drops you and then you reach out, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, and why did Zach... I mean, it sounds like Kayla gave him the green light to do this, from what I understand. But like, why did Zach get to be the one that like brought all? Shouldn't this have been Kayla?
Well, she didn't want to say anything because it was before the court case, so she was like, "You can if you want," kind of thing.
But I think, which I'm also kind of confused because it wasn't a trial, so she can talk about, or maybe she had. Like, I don't know. Maybe there was a reason she couldn't.
Like, let's not.
She said she wanted to process like the result of the sentencing, so she wanted to wait a few days until she said anything, or even a while. Then James came out with that video a day later.
So then she sent Zach in to.
No, Zach
posted this before the trial.
Based on what she said there, I don't know if Zach would have, if she would have given Zach the okay.
And just to clarify again, it's not a trial; it was just a hearing.
Right. That's why the whole point of them saying. They didn't want to like say anything. I'm not totally sure with that. Like that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I just know that Zach was posting, and like in the Be Better, they get on the FaceTime at the very end of it. Yeah. So they're
right.
in cahoots.
So she's like approved.
I think she like approved.
And this is before they knew that he was a weirdo.
Yeah, right.
Too.
That's true.
She didn't know that he was like a weirdo.
No.
So then it is Coachella weekend, a couple weeks later, and a video is posted exposing James to have flown my ex-boyfriend out to California. The second that this video goes public, James starts to blow up my phone, asking if I'm at Coachella, saying that we need to talk. I immediately already knew what he was talking about. Are you at Coachella? Yeah, I am. Can I talk to you? I shut it down. I don't want to fucking talk to you. He says, I felt guilty for weeks and I didn't know how to tell you and I owe the truth. And I explained it to you from my mouth, not the Zach guy, and then you can feel however you want to. To me, it's quite ironic that you suddenly feel guilty about this the second that it's made public.
Weird
You know what I mean? Like, you suddenly feel guilty once, like, What do you mean? I texted him. I've known for a while, but I saw the proof today. I'm just shocked. There's a ton to explain. I'm annoyed with myself for allowing you to find out this way instead of just telling you myself. I say, okay. He then says, he manipulated me as well, and I fell for it. To when I then reply, I got so pissed off. How did you get to the point for him to manipulate you? I told you he abused me the day we broke up. Then you texted him that day that I told you that. But I'd rather talk to you about this tomorrow. You met him because he was my boyfriend. After that, James did try to reach out multiple times. He wanted to meet up and talk, and I'll give him credit for that. I can tell he feels guilty. He was blowing me up for days and days after that, wrote me long paragraphs, just a lot of stuff. I personally decided not to respond. I decided not to meet up with him because, quite frankly, what the fuck do you have to say? And after waiting for him to come out with his response video, I'm honestly happy I didn't meet up with him to hear what he had to say because it clears up nothing for me. What happened, happened. You knew he was my abusive ex-boyfriend. I'm gonna have to make a part fucking 3.
She's such a sweet person that she still even then tries to say, you know, I could tell he felt guilty, he felt bad. I don't think he has a shred of guilt in his body. He's only God damn it, I got caught.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just oh, this could be another big cancellation for me. It'd be very stressful and bad for my career. And that's why I need to get this ironed out with you right away. It's not because he feels bad. This guy doesn't have feelings.
No.
If he felt bad, he would have reached out to her.
Exactly.
If you felt bad at all, you would have never reached out to Evan again as soon as you heard the word abuse.
Yeah.
And even if you guys are acquaintances or not close or whatever, if any woman tells you.
But he's so hot, Kendall. So hot.
Oh, right. He's so hot. What is he seeing in him? Evan's ugly. Am I missing something?
I think he's seeing that because James likes to, okay. So there's allegations of James really liking straight men.
Yes, that's been a long term.
Right.
That he tries to, it's a
change
challenge for
exactly.
him. Yeah.
Which we don't know. It doesn't matter, Evan, if he's straight or bi or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that was part of the challenge. And the fact that it was also his friend's boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just feels so slimy. I feel like he's just a little weasel. I can't stand him.
And then when you think about Evan, it doesn't matter what his sexuality was. I think at the end of the day, he just wants to be with whoever is going to further his career and give him clout and possibly mooch off of them. And he's ooh, James is even bigger than Kayla.
Yeah.
I can get some real followers and possibly launch, especially now that I don't have Kayla to mooch off of. Let me go for James Charles because he's interested in me.
Yeah.
I think he also probably he knew he was so fucked.
Yeah.
That he's if I can have anyone in my corner, I'll take them.
Even if it's James Charles.
Especially James Charles because he is so famous and
he's been through it before. Been through the trenches of cancellation. Maybe he can help me.
I don't know.
Oh my God, what a joke.
And he probably was James, what do I do? And James is rich and famous and has good connections and probably tried to give him advice on how to handle
clearly
being exposed as a crazy abuser.
And tried to give him a heads up of, hey, this series is going to come out to be real bad for you. That
part is
evil.
just so bad. That part is just... The fact that he's verbatim said 30-part series is so
It's very obvious what happened. He gave him a heads up. He warned an abuser that his victim was going to expose him and was hey, I'll walk you through it.
That is bad.
Yeah, you can find refuge in my house, in my backyard.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's
find
watch...
more in my house too, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, show his butthole. No, she never addresses any of that. I don't.
She's brought it up. She's I'm not sure if they had sex. She said that she has no idea.
Yeah.
Because remember last week I had brought up that Zach Sellers had said that he heard, and to clarify what I meant, because it is true, I was right. He had said that there's video, but it's audio only. It's doesn't show anything, but it's of them having sex, and that James is saying yeah, daddy, or
which
something like that.
I still don't.
I don't know if I believe that
because I think it would have come out.
And
by
I
now.
think Kayla would probably know, and she clearly doesn't. And Zach has. We'll get to Zach, but clearly he is not a reliable narrator, right?
It's really big of Kayla not to address or not to talk about any of that. If that is true, that's fucking embarrassing. You know what I mean? It speaks to her character.
Yeah,
that this isn't salacious for her.
Right.
This isn't just drama. And the things that happened with James and Evan is beyond the point.
He played the card and then he made me think that Kayla was the bad one or something like that. She told you, straight up.
It's still so bizarre to me. Even if he was lying to you and saying all these things that Kayla supposedly did and supposedly hurt, wouldn't you just be like, I gotta stay out of this. This is crazy messy. I, James Charles, who have a not so great track record, like, don't want to get involved in these two randos crazy relationship. Like, wouldn't you just be like, I'm staying out?
From a PR perspective, that would have been a smart move. And then if you look from a friend perspective, if someone who, I mean, she was friends with James before Evan. Evan met James through her. So you would think that you would at least, if you were a halfway decent person, you would reach out to her and be like, hey, Evan's telling me all of this stuff. Like, I'd like to clarify it from you before I fucking hang out with him for a weekend at my house.
Right.
But he doesn't care because he's a shit ass person.
All right, let's watch the last clip of her kind of recapping the whole situation.
And yeah, guys, we'll link the full 3-part if you want to listen to it. It's really interesting. I was hooked when it came out.
Yeah.
She's so strong, dude. I just gotta say, like, she's just gone through this. And she's like smiling and laughing and like, I just really like Kayla Malec.
Me too.
I'm just going to end this here. I just think it's a load of bullshit. And watching the apology video pissed me off even more because I can genuinely appreciate to where you now feel guilty. And I don't think that you still support him. I don't think that at all. I know once I posted the proof, you probably dropped him. I'm not doubting that. The fact that my word was not believed, my text messages of me saying that it was abusive, that he did the worst things a human could possibly do, those were taken lightheartedly. And then you went and DM'd him and formed a friendship with my ex-boyfriend, and you wanted to sit there and be there for him, and you believed everything that came out of his mouth, but not mine. That's fucking crazy to me. How are you going to sit there and take everything to heart that my ex-boyfriend is saying that you met through me, but not what I'm saying? I do not think that if I did not find out through TikTok and if this shit was not made public, I do not think I would have ever found out. I don't think I ever would have received a I've felt guilty for weeks text. I don't think I would have gotten an apology or he would have owned up to it and texted me about it if it had not been made public. And I think there's proof to that because he kept it a secret literally up until he went public with it. Listen, I get it. If your name's being slandered and you want to clock that shit, fucking clock it. I get it. But to do it and hour after I win the court case, fucking crazy. And I get it. You wanted to clear the air. But to not even wait 3 hours? What the fuck? It has been so hard to sit here and not say fucking shit when all of this is going on. And then seeing the apology video, I don't know. I just have a lot of thoughts. And I don't think this is like a pick sides thing. It's just a story. I think that James fucked up and he fucked me over. It was a shitty thing to do. I think the timing of everything was weird. I think the receipts were odd. That's basically my side of the story. They had been DMing in Hawaii in January while we were still together. So I don't know. And also, I do think it is fishy to create such a friendship with somebody off of being attracted to them. Because I don't know what the fuck they would have in common besides the fact that James thought he was hot, and then to fly him out, I don't know if I could think a guy was really hot, fly him out, and just like, I don't fucking know. There's just so much going through my head. But yeah, that's my side. And a bitch is pissed. A bitch has been pissed for some fucking how. But this whole thing became like a fucking drama. Y'all, this shit is just as confusing to me as it is to y'all. Oh, also, I don't know what the fuck happened while they were in LA. I'll never fucking know the truth, but I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Yeah,
she kind of alludes at the end that she knows more, but that's the end of it.
At least for now. If he was a good friend, he would never have even, as soon as he heard abuse, there would be no communication. He'd be like, oh, fuck this guy, block. Just even a good person. You don't even have to be someone's friend to hear from another woman.
Yeah.
This is my ex just abused me. Yeah. He's fucking crazy. You would think you would stay away from that. But even if he was halfway decent, you'd think he'd like message her and say like, hey, I feel really bad for Evan. I don't know the extent of
talking about
what
happened.
His life.
He's very depressed. And he's like, seems like he needs someone. Like,
right. Do you think it would be okay if I had him to my house, or does it bother you if I talk him through some of this? I'm worried about him.
Right.
Which obviously that was never, I don't think he was ever worried about him. I just think he wanted to, I think we all know what the fuck James wanted. And I will say too, like, and this is just in my opinion, absolutely allegedly, or I don't even know if allegedly would apply to this, but I would not be surprised if sexual things happened. Like, you guys really just hung out, you sat on the couch and ordered DoorDash, you talked him through and warned him.
But even if that is the
that might have been
what
what
it's
happened.
Still bad enough.
No, it's bad. It's bad either way. But I just don't believe that nothing happened.
Yeah, or at
Come
least just
on.
tried. Yeah.
You flew him out.
You thought he was so hot. All you could talk about was how fucking hot he was.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
For a long time.
And Kayla makes a great point. Like, if I thought someone was hot and then I just flew them out and I was like over and over again, like, oh my God, he's so hot, he's so hot, he's so hot. And then just flew him out, I'd have a hard time being like, yeah, just friends.
Right. Like, and It's James Charles. Like he really wants to help Evan so much. He cares for him. He wants to walk him through this expose that's about to happen in his depression. Shut the fuck up. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. James Charles is a dirtbag. I don't think he has a heart. I don't think he has a soul. He's like the cowardly lion. Or no, he's the Tin Man.
That's right, the Tin Man.
He has no heart. Just wasn't.
I thought he had no brain.
No, that was the Scarecrow.
That's a Scarecrow.
Oh.
So James is the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man.
He's just all
He's the whole fucking gang.
God damn.
You know what's crazy is the fact that he did know about the 30-part series and that he wasn't concerned that maybe Kayla was going to come out with a 30-part series.
Yeah. You would think if she says 30-part series in your stupid little brain, you'd be like, 30-part series, that must be a lot of shit she has to tell about. Like,
right.
That's a great point, Janelle.
Like,
It takes a second to think that.
He's like, 30 parts.
He's like, I better go tell him.
I better let him know this shit's gonna get bad
I'd be
for you,
like,
Evan.
wow, 30
Let me
parts.
walk you through this.
30
Either
minutes.
she has, you have 30 minutes. Either she would be completely making all 30 parts up and would completely lie, or there's a lot of crap that she has to go through to make a 30-part fucking series, okay?
And your name would still be, tied to it because...
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Jamesy boy definitely saw the videos that Kayla posted because he popped on Instagram and...
oh, no, it's TikTok.
TikTok
keep track of all
stories.
these damn
TikTok
apps,
stories. And made a statement. He said, I watched Kayla's videos last night and I'm grateful that she did not feed into the lies that she was told by Zach while also expressing how I upset her. I said it in my original video and I'll say it again. Kayla, I'm sorry that I was ever involved with this compulsive liar and I'm even more sorry that my involvement hurt you.
When he's saying the lies, he's talking about like the sexual stuff that Zach is accusing him of for the most part.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so he's really standing by we did not have sex. And maybe they didn't.
And maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I feel like he wanted to. I don't know. Whatever.
I
shouldn't be speculating on that. Just like I think we all know what we think, right?
Yeah.
She says, very well spoken, Kendall. We all think we,
As I
know
always
what we
am.
think.
We all think what we think.
She said in her video that she wasn't sure which stories from Evan were true, and there seems to be some confusion about my involvement before their breakup. I want to make it clear I absolutely did not pursue Evan or have a secret plot to take him from Kayla. As you will see, Evan reached out to me multiple times. I politely responded and then ended the conversation. I offered to privately share all these messages directly with Kayla so she could see what actually happened, but now I will share them publicly to hopefully make them clear. So here's the screenshots that he posted. So this is between him and Evan. They're in mid-conversation. And he goes, I told you I never go out. Evan says, damn, respect. James goes, I don't enjoy it. I'm sure Kayla's invited to tons of stuff. And Evan goes, yeah, just trying to find some more cool-ass events. Another part, it looks like he accidentally does a video call to James. And then he says, yo, my bad. And James says, LOL, you're all good. No worries.
Heart.
And then this is the whole Hawaii part. He says, you should come to Hawaii with us sometime, brother. And then he sends him a photo, which James says is the selfie he sent first with the girls in the background. And then James responded with his little kissy face emoji. Why should I come? And then he says, brother is crazy. And then Evan's like, my bad.
Is it because he wants to be babe?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, why aren't you calling me baby?
Or boo or something.
Bae.
My brother. Or brother.
It's like, why are you calling me brother?
He goes, my bad. That's a saying from Tennessee. Say brother to everyone.
That's a saying from Tennessee, the word brother? What the fuck? Oh my God. Why are there so many idiots in this story?
Brother. Yeah, and then Evan's like...
Evan,
he's like, Hawaii's just fun as fuck. Also, Kayla and Emma were just talking about you. We escaped the fires. James says, oh, I miss them. Yeah, good for you guys. Okay. So.
Deep breath time.
We're not fucking done yet.
Breathe
okay?
in.
We're almost done.
we're almost done.
Breathe out.
I might need to take a shower after talking about James.
No, literally.
He makes me feel like dirty.
Yeah. So then Be Better has to come out and make a statement because people were fucking pissed at his ass for
platforming Zach.
And seemingly he says, oh, I was just taking a journalistic standpoint. I wasn't believing anything he said, but he's really
cosplaying as a journalist, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does he have any credentials as a journalist? He's trying to be an investigative journalist. Isn't he just from a rich family that makes honey? That's what I understand. Does he have a degree? Can you guys look up? Does he have a degree in journalism?
No, because we can't even find his real name.
No, remember we found his name.
Oh, it took us a long time. I don't think we can find his.
And what was his name?
Wait, but remember you said ChatGPT said
ChatGPT isn't always right.
We weren't confirmed on the name.
Whatever.
But I want to know if he's like a journal. Does he? Because it's just like strange to me that he's trying to.
I think he's just like.
I think it's just like YouTube.
Yeah.
He's
TikTok.
a creator.
There's a zillion people. Like, we're not journalists.
Exactly. I don't call myself a journalist.
I don't think he calls himself a journalist.
I know he said things like, I'm trying to do a full investigation. And like, dude, what the fuck are you? Who do you think you are?
He's
a journalist.
Okay, so on Saturday, he posted a video addressing everything regarding James, Zach, and Kayla. And in the first clip, he addresses the claims that he got involved in this for financial gain. He says, hell no, I did not.
All right. Be better.
So there's a lot that I want to address with you guys. And I'll start by saying that the reason why I haven't addressed all of this sooner is not because I've been ignoring the situation. It's because I've been looking into it. In the weeks since my interview was posted, there have been numerous and deeply disturbing allegations made against Zach Sellers, the individual that I interviewed. Now, these are potential crimes that we're talking about. And anytime a situation is as severe as that, my last priority is going to be to jump on TikTok and performatively make a video distancing myself. Instead, I have been spending the past week speaking to the victims, gathering as much information as I can to ensure that I have a full picture of what happened so I can speak as accurately as possible. So in this video, I'm going to try and address everything from the narratives that have been circulating online, as well as the many lies that James Charles said in his response video, and then in the end, everything to do with the allegations made against Zach Sellers. So I want to start by addressing the narrative that is honestly the most hurtful to me, which is that I did this interview for attention or financial gain or to monetize the horrific trauma experienced by Kayla. So I just want to be clear about the facts. I invested my own money from my own pocket in producing this interview, knowing full well it would be a financial loss to me, purely because I felt it was a story that the world deserved to know, in which one of the biggest influencers on the planet is a now self-admitted abuse enabler. The small amount of money that was made from the interview, I believe it was about $1,500, was already donated to a domestic violence charity called No More, and it was donated in Kayla's name, and that was my plan from the very beginning. In addition to that, the only reason this interview existed in the first place is because it was a story that Kayla wanted the world to know. And had it not been for her direct involvement or her blessing and her encouragement, I never would have done the interview in the first place. I just want to remind people that the first words out of my mouth in that interview was reminding the audience to pause and please watch Kayla's videos first, and ensuring that the audience understood that everything we were about to speak to obviously came in second to her story.
In the second clip, he addresses
Charlie. He's like rolling his eyes at him.
Charlie's like, fucking goddamn it. He goes, why do I share somewhat of a name with James Charles?
Yeah. Seriously, that's offensive.
Okay, so the second clip, Be Better, addresses James's response video.
He's making special eyes of me.
Good boy. So let's
Bedroom
go ahead.
eyes.
He says, why should I come?
Because there's good cuddles in my bed, Charlie. You're welcome anytime.
He says, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So in every case of abuse, there is the person that commits the abuse and there's someone who enables it. Sometimes it's a friend who turns a blind eye. And sometimes it's the biggest influencer on the planet named James Charles Dickinson, who by his own omission was explicitly told from his friend that she, quote, experienced the worst things a human being has ever experienced, and that she was abused. And the word abuse was in fact used. His response to that was to say, can I have him now? And then proceed to develop a friendship with him and fly him to his home for 4 nights after, by multiple witness accounts, he was flirting with him, sexually attracted to him, pursuing him even when Kayla and Evan were still together. And now, after his reputation is what it is, being a liar and a self-admitted child predator, was arrogant enough to make a video screaming at the camera as if it was completely absurd that people believe that there was sexual undertones of their friendship. So one of the many lies said by James Charles in his response video was his reasoning as to why he didn't speak sooner, which was he was so worried that a TikTok video he made could negatively impact the outcome for Kayla. Now, the reason why this is untrue is because there was no trial between Kayla Malec and Evan Johnson. There was a sentencing hearing between the Crown and Evan Johnson in which charges were pressed and in which he pled guilty to. So there was no jury, there was no ongoing trial, and the idea that anything James Charles said in a TikTok video was going to be used is completely untrue and was a clever way for him to deflect the real reason as to why he didn't address all of this, which is that he was caught red-handed. Now, there was a very obvious logical contradiction made in James's response video, which was the way he attempted to absolve himself was by minimizing the friendship he had with Kayla, by saying, I didn't really know her that well. But then the follow-up question to that would be, if you didn't know Kayla that well, then how well could you have possibly known Evan Johnson, someone who you only knew through Kayla? And the implication is you actually didn't know him at all, yet you still believed him over her, gave him advice, flew him to your home, lied to Kayla when she asked you if he's at your house. And one of the worst aspects, in my opinion, was you actually weaponized the information that Kayla confided in you with when she said, I experienced horrific things and I'm putting together a 30-part Who the F Did I Marry series on the abuse I suffered, screenshotted that and sent it to Evan as a way to exploit the vulnerability and anxiety he felt over Kayla coming forward with the horrific abuse that she suffered, and then offering yourself as a shoulder to cry on because we all know you want to get in his pants.
I agree. I think that was the main reason too.
Yeah.
He wanted to get in the pants.
Be concerned. It's coming out, so...
Yep.
Come to my house.
Yeah, come on. I'll protect you. You can stay that. Like, I have a bunker. I have a cancellation bunker in the basement we can hide in.
God.
I just can't believe James really tried to say, like, I can't talk about this right now. It's because it's going to affect the outcome of the fucking trial.
No,
it's not even a trial. He's like, oh, it's going to taint the jury pool. What the fuck? He doesn't know. He is so stupid.
That's so
he is
true.
so stupid. And this is someone he cares about. He's like, oh, I want to see justice for Kayla Malec. He can't even look into what's happening.
No, literally. And the fact that he's like, I didn't want to, essentially steal her moment. You posted an hour later, dude.
Yeah.
Even Kayla was like, you couldn't do that, like, 3 hours later, even the next day, like an hour after he goes to jail.
He tries so hard to
fuck off.
present himself as someone with a soul that he doesn't know how to. Like, he doesn't know how to be a good person, so he just, like, comes up with things that are like, that sounds nice. That sounds good. So I'm going to say that. But in reality, you're just evil, dude. You're just such a, oh my God. Fuck James Charles. I really hope this is the end of him. No. I looked at his TikTok today. He hasn't posted anything else. You think he's going to come back with something?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Give it 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. All right. Within the 2 weeks?
Well, I think she may come out with more on her podcast that goes live on Wednesdays, because she said they had talked about how she was going to drop some more.
Okay, guys. Right. So our show goes up on Wednesday too. So by then, you might want to go check it out and see if there's some more. Maybe we'll be talking about this next week. Maybe we'll be talking about this for a while. Who knows? This shit goes on and on, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay, so this last clip we're going to watch is him addressing James Charles in the defamation lawsuit he supposedly was going to file.
James also lied in his video when he announced to 50 million people that he was actively pursuing legal action, yet never filed anything. And he could have easily already filed a bare-bones legal complaint that could have been amended or withdrawn later, but he didn't. And I believe the reason he didn't is that he never actually intended to, and instead was using it as a scare tactic so people stop speaking out against him. And I think James knows what a lawsuit entails, and if we look at what he is truly denying, and out of the entirety of all the allegations, the single solitary minute detail that he denies is that him and Evan Johnson ever ended up having sex. So if that is what the defamation suit is circulating around, the first thing that is going to be looked into during the discovery process is whether or not there were any sexual undertones between their interactions. And I think that is number one, the very reason why he will not file a lawsuit, because he definitely has something to hide. If he didn't, he wouldn't be scared of the discovery process and having all of his messages entered into the public record through subpoenas. And number two, it's also the reason why in his response video, he didn't include any messages between him and Evan Johnson, which would have easily proven his innocence.
Dude, what was he fucking thinking? Like, I'm going to sue Zach Sellers and anyone else who is going to spread vicious lies. It was like a big warning to everybody.
Yeah, but then he realized, well, shit, that means I gotta show all my stuff.
Yeah, No, you're not gonna do shit. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Shut up.
He's gonna be like, my Instagram messages disappear. So
yeah,
and that was a big allegation too, is that they were using vanish mode on Instagram. So those messages that he shared seem very innocent, but I guarantee
there has to be
there's
more.
like vanished messages. Well, we can't see them anymore. Obviously, they've vanished, but
I think you can go back, right? Like,
no, it's
not
encrypted.
Even legal. Oh.
No, it's encrypted. So
okay, I did not understand because I keep accidentally turning on vanish
really
mode
annoying.
to people all the
really
time,
annoying.
and sometimes I do it with people that I'm not like sometimes I'll do it with you guys or whatever, and it's like whatever, you're not going to say anything.
Ding, vanish mode on, and I'm like, huh? And you scroll up again, and it turns it off.
I've done it with like random people I'm like kind of acquainted with, and I'm like, oh, they probably think I'm so weird. Turn on vanish mode.
It's weird how easy it is to turn on. You literally scroll up too much, and it turns right on.
Why would they even have a feature like that? It seems dangerous.
Bye, sisters.
Bye, sisters. That's the end of the segment. So yeah, this is today's May 19th. So I don't know what could come out next.
It is the best time of the year, folks. Summertime, okay? And you know what comes with summertime? Outdoor concerts. There is nothing better than being outside, watching your favorite artist perform. The sun is shining, the vibes are high, especially if you have a great seat and you got a great seat with a great deal through SeatGeek, okay? Because I'm telling you, with over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Right now, you can get tickets to so many fantastic artists, including Beyonce, or Shakira, or even the Lumineers. I recently got tickets to Big Wild in September using SeatGeek, and we got a great deal and great seats. I'm super excited. And what's great is that each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look at the green dots. Green means good, red means bad, and plus every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know I came through for you guys. You can use code SESH10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off tickets with promo code SESH10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek.
All right, guys, moving on from James Charles. We have refreshed, we have snacks. I needed some protein and fruit after that. Apples and peanut butter can never go wrong. So how honored are we that Catherine and Austin McBroom are back in our lives?
I miss them so much.
I miss them so much. It's been about a year. Last talked about McBroomster during that was last year, right? Last January, where they announced they were getting divorced and he parked outside of her house.
Yeah, he was doing all these weird ass things. It was last spring. We covered his ass.
Mm-hmm. He was doing a lemonade stand, selling ramen.
Yeah.
All the things. I mean, he's just such a clown. And he continues to be a clown. And it's stuff like we said, we already knew to some degree, but now it's even more confirmed. So if you don't know who Catherine, I think it's Paez.
It's Paez.
Yeah.
And Austin McBroom. If you don't know who they are, the Ace family. Okay. The Ace family. Remember when they had, what is their intro song like? It can be impossible, incredible. Remember that? Test your limits.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if they had that made for themselves. But yeah, they're just their whole brand. It's just really sad that in today's day and age, your brand can be on your relationship, your kids, and just showing your day-to-day life. And then in January last year, they dropped the news that they were getting divorced. Oh yeah, remember there was Pray for Austin, and then he did that song when there was like a rapper involved.
Yeah, he was doing some weird ass shit. He's like staying at people's homes, sleeping on the floor. Like he had nowhere else to go.
Mattress.
It was all very, very dramatic. Then he was like doing his little RV thing for a minute. He had like weird ass dance performances.
Oh yeah, DDG's house was where he was sleeping on the air mattress.
Just
crash
weird
out.
ass shit. Yeah,
his whole life
having a crash out.
Crash out.
And the two of them never really like gave a reason as to why they were getting divorced. But there were always rumors that Austin cheated on Catherine.
Yeah, it's like we've been new.
Well, now it's confirmed. Oh well, according to both of them, he admits it. So it's confirmed. It happened.
Yeah, he's been cheating.
Yeah.
It sounds like several times too.
So sometime last year, she said that 2018 to 2022 were the hardest years of her life. She says that she swept everything under the rug, a time in which I stayed strong to hold everything together, a time in which I pretended to be okay. Today I know who I am. Today I have no fears. I'm happy to revisit my old self. I love her so much. Beautiful.
Question. Do we know, I don't know if you guys know this, it's not like you guys are Ace family experts, but do they still have the kids in the stuff? They still vlog? Does she vlog?
Yeah, well, they don't really vlog anymore. They are more active on Snapchat.
Yeah,
and Snapchat's a big moneymaker for them right now.
They have like one of those Snap deals.
Yeah.
Probably,
her kids are on that, though.
The kids are on that?
Like,
and she posts them too?
Yeah.
See, this is why, like, I don't really have sympathy for even her in this situation. Like, I just think they're both such terrible people. I mean, remember everything that they did? Remember when the whole dog thing? Yeah. And it's just...
He took the daughter to Spencer's and bought her like a penis lollipop.
The lollipop. And it's like, Catherine let all of that happen and was profiting off of it, living a nice-ass life because of all of it. So it's hard for me to like find empathy for her. I mean, of course, I feel bad for any woman who is cheated on and has to be with someone like Austin McBroom, but I don't know. I just don't think they are beacons of what it means to be a good person and good parents. So,
well, she's coming out with a book, folks.
She's coming out with a book. That's what I've been wanting. A Catherine Paez book.
Well, you're getting one.
Thank God.
Called Dolores, My Journey Home, Finding Myself Beyond the Ace Family, Part 1.
Part 1.
Multiple parts. Yeah, her name is Dolores. Didn't know that. That's her legal name.
I accidentally called her Beatrice this morning.
Yeah, she kind of goes, what's her name? Beatrice? But yeah, she's coming out with a book, guys.
Yep.
Okay. She says, today I'm taking a leap of bravery and sharing something deeply personal with all of you. Writing this book was the most vulnerable thing I've ever done, but also one of the most rewarding. It took courage to pour my story onto these pages, but I did it because I believe in the power of honesty, connection, and resilience. I hope this book inspires you as much as writing it has transformed me. I can't wait for you to read it and experience this journey with me.
Is she naked on the cover of that?
What? On the cover of the
Zoom
book?
In? Yeah, she's like in the forest.
Yeah, it looks like.
Or underwater, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Gorgeous.
And this book, obviously she had a ghostwriter. Riley J. Ford is the ghostwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, New York Times bestselling author. Got a nice deal. 26 chapters. And the first chapter is supposedly all about Austin cheating. There's a quote going around from the first chapter. It says, I had been living inside a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Preview of the memoir was posted online over the weekend of May 10th, but it was quickly removed. How does that even happen?
I think it was just put out there.
I think they put it out.
I'm going to say, I think they did it. I think she did it.
It just hasn't been confirmed.
No, it's obvious. She would have by now said.
I think they put it out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is like she hasn't said she hasn't.
For the book. She would have definitely made sure people knew if it was fake.
Yeah.
Let me read a little bit of it.
Yeah, read some because it's
the writing in this is just you're doing too much. Okay, like it's giving poetic.
Well, she didn't write it.
I know, but it's like, dude,
like, did you read it?
It doesn't seem authentic to her at all.
No.
I did not recognize myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the mirror, not in my own skin, not in the way I moved through the world. The reflection staring back at me was someone else, someone lost, someone broken. My hair, thinning at the roots, snapping at the ends, was a dull, brittle thing that had once been vibrant. My skin was gray, my eyes hollow. The first
skin was gray? What?
Like, no life in her. The first cold sore I'd ever had was blooming on my lip as proof of everything unraveling inside me. Yes?
The first cold sore she's ever had. She's been perfect up until now, but now her skin's gray and she's got a cold sore. Her first.
Even my voice when I spoke felt foreign, as though I had swallowed my own sorrow and was spitting it back out every time I opened my mouth. And the crying, God, the crying, it hit me like a wave, an ambush, in the grocery store aisle, in the car, in bed, staring at the ceiling, slipping slowly into madness. That's not actually part of it. Kendall, that didn't even register with her. That's fine. It didn't come with a warning. It just took me under. Maybe there was no reason for it, or maybe there were too many reasons. This was my life, the perfect one, the Ace family dream that had unfolded in front of the world on YouTube.
The Ace family dream.
It's the fairy tale romance. Keep going. The big house, the babies, the millions watching.
Just your limits.
And yeah, I felt like a ghost.
Yeah, I felt like a ghost. And I'm not laughing at her pain.
Yeah, whatever.
Just a little.
I just think like the wording of it is so goofy. Like, come on. And she talks about like going to Brazil, the one where it all collapsed, not in pieces, not slowly, but all at once, like a house falling in on itself, the walls and ceilings and floors crumbling in tandem, trapping me beneath it all. I thought this was rock bottom. I thought there was nowhere lower to go. But rock bottom is funny like that. You think you've reached it, and then you find out there's always further to fall.
So here's some more of the leak. Too far from the essence of why we resonated with people in the first place. Too far from what had once been genuine between us. Yet so much of YouTube had been for clicks, for views, for spectacle. But the love we built our family on, that had always been real.
That's sweet.
Very sweet. And that's what they wanted. They wanted what they had always wanted. Not Austin waving to them alone, not him standing apart like another famous influencer, but us. And that's what I wanted too, for the people and for myself. My heart felt heavy as I watched my husband, but I did what I did best. I masked it. When the song finished, he made the rounds of schmoozing with people who fed his ego until it was time to go home. I didn't say anything to him that night. I should have. I should have grabbed him by the hand in the locker room and asked him why.
Why? Why don't you want me beside you?
But I didn't. Instead, I filed it away, buried the pain. You know, I feel bad for her, of course, like a little bit. It is painful. It is painful. But like, you were married to Austin McBroom, dude. The dude is like, talk about soulless. Like,
I think they both have a huge part in that, though. You know what I mean? I don't think it was just Austin. I think they like created this monster. You know what I mean?
Of course
Together.
they did. They both signed on to this. They both
exactly
took the checks from YouTube and exploited your children all over the internet, made it your brand.
Or she says, I found out Austin had been cheating on me. Not a suspicion, not a rumor. Proof. I realized then why he hadn't wanted to walk beside me. Why it had been so easy for him not to. He'd already broken his vows. He'd already been gone from me longer than I had known. It's just so poetic.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't seem authentic at all. It's too, like, artsy-fartsy.
Like, she's trying to be different than when the old Catherine, you know, from the Ace Family vlog. She's trying to be like, now I'm an established author
but, like,
and a changed woman and,
it sounds
you
like
know,
AI.
Mother Mary.
Yeah, it just sounds so inauthentic in my opinion. And like, that's I know
well, it is.
Who doesn't have a ghostwriter? Fucking everyone has a ghostwriter nowadays. But still, it just
doesn't sound like natural to
at
her
all. Like, the realization wasn't an explosion. It wasn't rage or shouting or throwing things. It was slower, heavier, a knife to the gut that didn't cut fast, but pressed in deeper and deeper until I couldn't feel it in my bones, or rather, my heart. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's hard to relate to.
Yeah. I think when, Britney Spears's memoir came out, obviously she had a ghostwriter, but I think they did
sounded like
good,
her.
Right.
It sounded like Britney Spears.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like Catherine.
That our life, the one we built with camera angles and clickbait and perfectly timed edits, was hollowing out beneath me, an illusion created for millions to see, but never for me to truly live. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's speaking as if they're like the royal family.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Like, what am I?
We're a YouTube vlog family.
I feel like I'm reading something from, what's her face? Harry's wife? Or
yeah, Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Not fucking Catherine McBroom.
A close family member of his admitted to me that he had invited a girl to that Staples Center event, which was their big, I can't believe they packed out
James was there.
Staples Center. Oh yeah, Jamesy boy was there. The same night, I'd convinced myself I was being selfless for letting him have his moment. I'd seen her there, pretty, a hanger-on. Standing just close enough to feel out of place, yet comfortable enough to belong. I had noticed her in the way you catch something that doesn't quite fit, a puzzle piece jammed into the wrong spot.
Like, stop. Would you stop?
I'd even wondered who invited her. Now I knew it all made sense, that he hadn't wanted me next to him, the shrug, the indifference, the way he treated me that night as if I were a thorn in his side. The distance that had been stretching between us had widened like a crack in the foundation, too stubborn to crumble all at once.
That's enough. Have you ever seen the meme that's like the details of a book is like the curtains were blue, but then it's like the actual, like they take 4 pages to describe the fucking blue curtains.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening here. Like, this could have been summed up. Sorry. It's just,
I'm with you.
It doesn't seem authentic at all. She's not a...
Well, it's not. Nothing they do is authentic, dude. It's the Ace family. I do feel bad, though, that she was newly pregnant with her 3rd child. She said, I carried it all alone. She said she couldn't tell her dad or her brother because her brother had just started his own YouTube channel. I didn't want to pull him into this mess. That's the strangest reason why, though. Okay. Couldn't call my mom. I was too ashamed. That's sad.
That is
too
sad.
humiliated. I'm sure she was...
I feel bad for her that she was cheated on.
Of course, I feel bad for any woman that is cheated on. But yeah, so people online think that she's really going to drop the tea in this book, considered what was revealed in this preview, in this leak, which I'd say is probably safe to say, if you're leaking just that, there's got to be a lot more.
Right.
On her Instagram, she shared about the book. She had the perfect life until she chose a braver one. She grew up far from the spotlight in the vibrant multicultural city of Montreal, Canada, where her dreams began. Blah, 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 blah. She said, perfectly camera ready, hair, makeup, nails, fitness, skin, through it all. Together, Austin and I were a dynamic duo, the secret sauce that made our YouTube channel so popular, the perfect blend that made it all happen. And yet, strangely, the more I watched my husband work, the more I dismissed my own contributions. As a woman with traditional family values, I put Austin on a pedestal. I made sure he knew he was seen, that his efforts were appreciated, but I didn't know if he saw me. I had been feeling invisible for a while, a contradiction that wasn't lost on me, given that millions of people watched every move online. At the first huge sold-out event we organized, for the Thirst Project, I had been pregnant. Staying out of the spotlight made sense. But the second fundraiser for the Painted Turtle, I wasn't pregnant. I felt good, strong, ready. I poured myself into this event too. I wanted to be a part of it. And then came the locker room, a space of waiting, of anticipation, a moment that should have been small but wasn't. I turned to Austin. Do you want me to walk out with you? A simple question, she says, but beneath it, something deeper. To be wanted to be there beside him as his wife, to be part of it in a way that wasn't just background support, wasn't just behind the scenes, to be the Ace family in more than just appearance.
But supposedly he had his mistress 10 feet away.
It looks that way. Well, actually, we're not completely sure that that's the mistress.
No, we're not.
We'll explain. But yeah, James Charles did sing the national anthem.
Oh
my God, look at him. What is that suit? He is so Kris Jenner coded.
Yeah. 100%. Can we watch this clip of him singing?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Remember the little dance he did with those TikTok guys? Where like, might be crazy, baby.
Gucci shoes.
Oh, yeah. Gucci shoes. Chris Brown?
Yep.
Oh,
he was there?
Yep.
Jake's there.
Yep.
Mr. Beast.
Everyone
there.
terrible. Lil Pump. What a lineup.
Please stand up if you're not already standing. We want to give the national anthem. The legend, James Charles.
A legend. Look at James. James is living. In the back of it says sisters.
Oh, I think that's the guy that he did that TikTok dance with.
Oh, yeah, I think it was. They sound kind of good, not gonna lie.
It's not just James Charles. It's because the other guy is really carrying it. Thanks. It's still going.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Another one of the players was Rice Cum.
Rice Gum. Shut up. Who fucking wrote that?
Rice Cum. I forgot about Rice Cum. God.
Wait, who wrote cum?
Me.
Did you purposely do that?
Yeah, I just thought how you spelled it.
No,
You thought it was right? You actually thought it was rice cum? Yeah,
No.
you did.
That's just like the way I thought it sounded.
Rice Gum.
No, because
it is
she
actually.
didn't know who Rice Gum was.
You shouldn't. I was going to say, Sydney, like, before you started working for the Sesh, would you have known, like, who the Ace family or any of these fucking people are?
I wouldn't know James Charles or anything like that.
Rice Cum is
Welcome
awesome.
to the brain rot.
Rice Cum.
Rice Cum was before your time.
He was.
What happened to Rice Gum?
How
No
do
one-
you spell it?
With
It's
G.
gum. G. It's
like
gum.
chewing gum. Rice Gum.
She really thought it wasn't a typo. She said Rice Gum. That checks out. Amazing.
That's fucking
Amazing.
awesome.
So I am really excited to be working with today's sponsor, O Positive, because I have personally had a wonderful experience trying it out over the last couple of months. I've already seen major differences. Now, if you haven't heard of O Positive, it's a women's health company, and they offer a range of symptom-targeting supplements that support women at every stage of life, all the way from your first period to well beyond your last. O Positive is proud to have the best-selling women's health supplements at Target and on Amazon. Urovaginal Probiotics is one of the top 5 supplements on Amazon, which is super impressive, and they have multiple #1 products in Target for intimate care, PMS, and menopause categories. And what's so special about the O Positive products? Well, they create real, tangible results with ingredients that are backed by clinical studies and shaped by board-certified doctors. And if you're out there and you have a vagina, let's just get real. okay? Everyone deals with some vagina stink at some point in your life, okay? It's just part of life. And, there's nothing wrong with that, nothing to be ashamed of. But if it's something that bothers you, then there are options out there to balance your pH and support a healthy vaginal smell, maintain vaginal flora, and many factors can cause the vaginal odor. Sex, tight clothing, sweat from working out, hormones, periods, etc. can all disrupt vaginal health and lead to an imbalance in vaginal flora and pH, causing an unhealthy vaginal odor and taste, abdominal discharge, and discomfort. Because if you feel self-conscious about the way that your vagina smells and tastes, it can make for, problems in your sex life. It may make you feel like you're not so confident, and getting that confidence back just really works wonders. I wanted to read you some of the reviews because they just say it all. This product is a life changer. Talk about build up your sex life and confidence. My husband loves them and has noticed a change during intimacy. Every woman needs this. This product does everything it says it will. I just finished my second month. I have no discharge, no odor, and no taste. This stuff is a game changer. So take proactive care of your health and head to opositive.com/sesh or enter code SESH at checkout for 25% of your purchase. That's really a great deal. Once again, that's opositive, opositive.com/sesh for 25% off. So yeah, naturally people online have been trying to figure out who this mystery woman was that was at the event. And it's rumored to be a woman named Monica Bush, which sounds so political. Monica Lewinsky, George Bush.
Totally.
She belonged in politics. So her TikTok is Moni Manny. Monty Manny? Monty would make more sense, yeah.
Totally.
Sorry.
Price come money.
Price come sent me to another world.
Oh my God. So in a series of videos posted in June of 2021, Monica said that Austin hit her up and was like, yo, can I send you some merch for a promo? And she was like, I was a little shook, but I hadn't really talked to a celeb before, but she was like, I'm flattered. So yeah, she says, hi, I'm flattered. My size small in tops and bottoms, extra small. So you have that. My address is blah, blah. And he said, dope. Monica claims that Austin asked her to hang out and watch Netflix, a little Netflix and chill, just like James and Evan. She says that she thought it was a business thing, the fuck, but admits she was dumb for thinking that. And then they met up another night and hooked up. And according to Monica, Austin told her that things weren't good with his wife and claimed that their relationship was more for just publicity than anything real, which people always speculate.
And I wonder if to a degree that was like sort of agreed upon between them, but now I don't know.
It sounds like it. just from what McBroom is saying.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was very much just like for the public eye. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, to be clear, it's not officially confirmed that Monica was the woman at the Staples Center event. And this is just a side note here, but Tana actually called Austin out a few years ago for cheating on Catherine, and she brought it up in a recent episode on her podcast, the Canceled Podcast. You can go ahead and watch a clip of that.
Wait, I've never been an Austin McBroom fan. I went on an entire year-long tangent in 2019, 2020 about how much I thought he was a shit person and that Catherine deserved better, and all stories similar to that one of things I'd experienced, like a time where I was with Jake and him and found like a makeup product in his car, and then I had to like lie and say it was mine and it wasn't, and it was just like this whole thing. And then everyone was trying to negate my story and all this shit.
I don't think anyone was like, could anybody even argue with that? I feel like it's just such common knowledge.
Apparently the same thing happened to Erica Costell. And then she came online and was like, that, I think she was saying like that actually happened to me. And then I was like,
about her,
saying like it also happened to me. And then no one believed me because, you know what I mean? Whatever.
I just think it's funny because he's still
I like
on
that
Snapchat
guy. Trevor Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
He's funny.
Like, it's the first person we've ever seen have a breakdown mentally through Snapchat, their money, how they're paying.
That's what's crazy.
Monetizing their breakdown.
Knowing
he was monetizing a fake breakdown
from Snapchat. I'm like, God, he's a
not
genius.
Real.
Keep doing those
well,
cartwheels.
That's what it is. He's probably making racks this week. I
know, and he could after this just be like, okay, haha, joke's on you guys.
I mean, right, but like
when I found out that his whole like grippy sock moment is only on Snapchat, I did think to myself like, that is kind of genius.
And Austin posted a 30-minute response on Snapchat.
Of course, because he's got to get as many views as possible. Keep it as long as possible. Because he has requirements. He's in one of those Snapchat deals where you have to post a certain amount.
Yeah.
Of course, Sydney had to go through it all. Find the most important parts.
Yeah, right. Which he did admit to cheating during their relationship and claimed that Catherine knew about it while they were together. And he also accuses Catherine of not wanting to have sex with him for a year. Supposedly, they had no touching for a full year.
Poor Austin. It's so sad. He had nowhere else to turn. Big bitch. So he also claims that Catherine left him for another man and illegally imported and hosted ayahuasca ceremonies. Let's just hear it from him. All right, here he is.
So what's going on with the hair? Especially the facial hair. It's so uneven.
I just don't understand how he was ever able to even pull someone like Catherine. Like, Catherine's so very gorgeous. Beautiful. He screams cheater, too. Like, his whole persona, everything about this man just screams.
He reminds me of Chris Brown.
Just with, like, zero talent.
Guys, I never expected to be here today to talk to you guys what I'm about to get ready to talk to you guys about. I never wanted for many reasons. I think the biggest reason is to protect the most important people in my life, which is the mother of my kids and my kids. But I had been left with no choice. I'm sad. I'm mad. Blindsided because, as you guys know, and what you guys have seen for the past year and a half, Catherine and I have the best co-parenting situation that any parent can ever ask for. We actually have a better relationship now than we did when we were married. I look at Catherine as a best friend, someone that I talk to every day. She called me last week about her boyfriend, how he had a homeless guy sleeping in his car.
This is such... Okay, wait, pause.
Was it you?
Dude, that is so... That's such a jab.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, why do you have to include that part? Mm-hmm. Yeah, our boyfriend's got a homeless fucking dude sleeping out.
I also love that he's like, this is something I never wanted to have to do because I want to protect my kids and family. That's why I like film their everyday life and post it to millions of people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So down for the protective daddy role.
For her house, bringing the kids pizza, not just the kids, but her and her boyfriend pizza. And we were all sitting in her living room eating the pizza. And
did you bring pizza to the homeless guy too? Come on.
Of her book comes out and it talks about how I'm a terrible person and how I was a terrible husband. Not once did she ever come to me and talk to me about this book. Yes, I was aware she was writing this book for the past hour long. And I actually congratulated her when I first found out she was writing a book because obviously I had no idea what the book was about. I just was very proud of her that the book was manipulated and she did not tell the full truth, which is why I'm here today to tell you guys the full truth. I don't know about you guys, but I find it very odd that the first chapter of her book, it's about me and how I was a terrible person and a terrible husband when this book is supposed to be an autobiography about her life. But she wanted to use me in this snippet to reel everybody in for clickbait and to monetize from the book. Usually when someone writes an autobiography about their life, it starts with, hey, my name is. That's definitely that's why I feel like it was a setup.
Yeah, of course. Like, Michelle Obama's autobiography.
Hey, my name is Michelle Obama.
He's clearly never read a book. Never read an autobiography. Dumb fuck. So then he goes into how he recorded a video back when they were separating that he wanted to post online to share his side of the story. But Catherine said she didn't want him to post it due to backlash. Let's hear it from him.
That's why I feel like it was a setup. When I say a setup is because when we went through our separation and we decided to announce it to the world. Her and I were trying to figure out the best way of doing it. I felt the best way of doing it was coming out with a YouTube video together, her and I side by side. And I even told her that, hey, I'll do all the talking. I'll take full accountability for my actions and all the mistakes that I've made. I said, you don't have to say anything if you don't want. Even though you've made mistakes and I've made mistakes, I'll go ahead and take all the blame. She didn't want to do that. So it left me with no choice but to make my own video. I decided to make my own YouTube video and I basically expose myself. And it's crazy because I still have that video today, which I'm going to show you guys. The video is over 30 minutes long.
He's on fucking iMovie.
I'm not going to share the whole video, but I'm just going to share a short snippet to show you guys. I did make this video. It caused me
I did make this
seek
video
it elsewhere. It caused me to make bad decisions. I admit I was a husband. As you guys can see, it was 30 minutes of the video of me just exposing myself. And I obviously shared that video with her to get her approval before posting it. And long story short, she didn't want me to post it. And this is what she had to say about it before we announced our separation on Instagram. Here is a recording, which was on January 13th, which was the day after.
I'd like to see that.
And this was her response on why she felt I shouldn't post the video. So sometimes is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't have to worry about you saying something after and stuff. So I'm basically asking, what is okay for me to say? She showed me her statement that she had, and I was like, okay, well, I had no say in that. You're doing what you want to do. Am I allowed to do what I want to do?
No, you just say you were happy. Say what you said in your video. I just think the video would have been...
He's secretly recording her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that illegal in California?
In California, yeah. It's a two-party state in California.
Dude, he's so stupid. Like, what the fuck? You are such a freak secretly recording her in the first place, then let alone to play it for the internet.
Yeah.
that if I was going to release this video, I would get a lot of backlash, as if she cared about me getting backlash. What is happening now? You would expect her to be okay with, back then when we were separating at that time, to be okay with me getting backlash or her saying what she needed to say back then. A year and a half later, you didn't want me to put this video out because you didn't want me to get backlash. And what's happening now? Why now? So again, I felt set up because she didn't want me to expose myself back then. We were going through a separation a year and a half ago. She wanted to expose me and save it for her book to talk about how she doesn't feel handcuffed anymore and how she is able to move on with her life because she was able to put out the statement that she wanted. And now I'm basically just asking her if it's okay for me to tell how I feel in my side of the story.
Amen, sister. So Austin also brings up how he was such a supportive husband and how he supported Catherine through her ayahuasca journey.
That I do not believe in. I believe in God. But because I'm such a supporting husband, I wanted to support her as much as I could. And so I let her seek that journey, and that's what she did. Through her ayahuasca journey, she was telling me how one moment she feels like she's a psychic. The next moment she felt like she was a healer. The next moment she turned me into a mermaid. She was a witch. As supportive as I could.
I'm also like confused. Why are you saying this? This has nothing to do with you cheating.
And I love that he's trying to be like, well, I'm a God-fearing man, so I would have never partaked in something like
I'm just
in ayahuasca,
fucking other hoes on the side.
He's like trying to make it sound like it's heroin or something.
Why are you bringing it in as if like she's some drug addict?
Yeah, like she's doing black tar heroin in the back of the kids' playroom.
Right.
It's just like insane.
Yes, exactly.
Which, I mean, obviously doing ayahuasca should not be done around a child.
No.
And have we gotten to that? But he does try to make, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Oh yeah, he's got to have a dramatic moment.
He's crying.
And that she no longer wanted to have sex with me and she didn't want to use her body in that way. You guys put yourself in my shoes.
What was I going to do? My dick had to go in something.
Other told you that they were the Virgin Mary and no longer wanted to have sex with you.
What would you do?
What would you do?
Like, okay, yes, that is
then break
odd.
up, but don't.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Maybe you get divorced.
Then it's time to get divorced because I do agree that would be problematic.
Obviously, to some degree. But it makes me wonder: did she really say I can't have sex because I'm the Virgin Mary, or it's because I don't fucking like you anymore?
Exactly.
You're hooking up with other people,
exactly,
and maybe because you're just awful in every way and you look like you do. I don't know. There could be other reasons, or maybe it was because she's just postpartum or pregnant, or I mean, she was having babies during all this time. Maybe she just didn't want to fuck your disgusting ass. I don't know.
Well, she did go on Snapchat and do like a Q&A thing, like Ask Me Anything. And someone said, are you really a mermaid? And she replied, yes, but unfortunately I'm missing my fins. I resonate with the energies of Palladian, Sirian, Andromedan, Orion, Lyran, and celestial star seeds. So I mean, you guys think that this is not her trolling. I kind of think she's a little bit trolling.
I don't think she's trolling. I think she's deep into ayahuasca and stuff, and that stuff like really makes you
But she really thinks she's a mermaid.
She said I don't think she thinks I'm a mermaid, but she resonates with the energy.
No, she says yes, but unfortunately I'm missing my fins.
Right. I think that's a little bit of a troll. I don't know what she means. I don't fucking know. But I think she certainly believes she's like a gifted being or like some sort like
she's gonna save the earth.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see the video of him as a mermaid?
Yes. So this is what he meant when she turned him into a mermaid.
Right.
Hell yeah. Austin loves a costume.
Oh yeah.
Austin loves a moment.
Yeah.
Are you Little Mermaid?
Or I could be Big Mermaid.
Okay, let me see the back.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna give this.
What do you think, Ace Family? Well, let me get a. Wow.
Looks great.
Okay.
Okay, lovely.
Looked like he loved it then.
She also has a clip where she's saying that she is a walking ancestor that belongs in the ocean. So perhaps that is also going.
I think she's really
along with the mermaid thing.
Yeah, I don't think the mermaid's a troll.
Okay.
I think she really does believe.
So he then speaks about how Catherine is hosting ayahuasca get-togethers, and this is where he really, I think, the accusations start, and he starts making some pretty bold claims about these ceremonies.
Really digs at her parenting too.
Yeah.
I know you guys know before when she was doing ayahuasca, when I was living with her, she would do it away from me, away from the kids, and outside of the house, where she would go to a professional. I'm sure you heard of Linnell. She's taken pictures with her. She's praised her. And Linnell was once a family member of ours. And Linnell has been a professional in this field and has been studying this field for damn near 15, 20 years. And when Catherine got her own spot and she was living with her boyfriend, she decided to take Linnell's business away from her clientele, and decided to do the ayahuasca ceremonies and her hosting them at her house, in her home where my kids lay their head. It got so bad. Sorry, I promise also.
Oh, stop it.
I'm just angry.
There are no tears.
It got so bad to the point where good friends of hers came to me.
He sucked them up.
And Catherine forced them to do it.
Oh.
She forced her friends to do it. And they came to me very concerned because they didn't have a good experience.
She forced her friends to do it.
She's like, drink this, motherfucker.
Yeah. God, what are you talking about? Maybe she invited them to do it and they chose to do it. Or like she could have even pressured them, which isn't great.
Right.
But it's just, he's trying every angle he can get. I think he knows that this book, this memoir, is going to have so much worse shit on him that he's trying to get ahead by making her look as terrible as possible.
Yeah.
Also saying, like, you're doing it in the house where my kids lay their head. We don't know if the kids were actually there. And let me be clear, if they were there when this was happening, that is a big problem.
Of course.
A big problem. I would hope that she did it in her home without the children being in the home. I'm hoping and guessing that that is the case. It seems like if they were in the house, he would have been very clear about that. He'd be like, there was ayahuasca going on while my children were there. But he's going this roundabout way to like make
where
people
they lay their
think
head.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she also has a full disclaimer in her book saying that she doesn't officially endorse the plant medicine or anything like that. So she's like, each person needs to decide what's best for themselves,
Yeah. And I just like, I think it's really gross too that he's trying to paint ayahuasca as this terrible thing. It's actually a beautiful, life-saving thing that has been, I mean, incredible for so many people. I really want to do it one day.
She talks about plant medicines can carry physical, psychological, and legal risks. They are not appropriate for everyone and can have serious consequences, particularly for individuals with underlying health conditions. Blah, blah, blah. So by no means, at least in her book, is she like, no, everyone should be doing ayahuasca, including children. Yeah, he also claims that Catherine is educating the kids on the ayahuasca, like teaching them about it, saying that soon they'll be able to do the ayahuasca, and that at one point during a ceremony at her house, a 12-year-old was participating in the ayahuasca.
If that's true, though, that's I mean, the 12-year-old participating, that is a really fucking big problem.
Well, she says that that's not true, that the kid was 17.
Well, her boyfriend.
Right. Which is still a little young in my opinion, but
he says that he was accompanied he said he was accompanied by a parent though.
Yeah, which
I mean it's still, I don't know the legality around that, but that sounds like a problem to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a problem to me too, but regardless, she says that he wasn't 12, okay?
Did she say anything about educating the kids?
No, I'm not.
That's also very concerning. I think that's like they're way too young to even know about it or to be told that they can do this when they get old. Yeah.
He's in her like Snapchats, and we have some of them linked. Like she basically said he fabricated what he's saying here. So they're just going to keep going back and forth.
If I'm going to believe one out of the two of these two people, it's her.
True.
This is where they sometimes sleep. And she had random people that come in and out of her house that she doesn't know that are all participating in this illegal substance together, that are all hallucinating and having all different types of experiences, that this is not a safe environment. Somehow they found someone in Brazil to help them illegally import this ayahuasca shit. And they've been hosting these ayahuasca ceremonies for the past year at Catherine's house where my kids lay their head. And after her friends came to me and voiced their concern, I knew I really only had two options. Either I get full custody of the kids or I spend more time with them to protect them. And I think you guys know what option I chose. I never, ever wanted to do that to her. As you guys know, ever since we got together, I've shown so much love to that woman.
It seems to me like he's trying to paint the picture that she is doing it, that the kids are there while this is happening. But he's doing it in a way that if she were to take legal action against him for like defaming her in that way, that he could be like, well, I didn't technically say that.
Yeah.
But he's certainly like planting the seeds and wants people to believe that that is the case.
So then Austin gets into Catherine's relationship. Let's go ahead and watch that.
During this process and her going out, traveling and going on retreats, she found somebody. And I came across their messages and I didn't know what to make of it. I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't understand it. But she told me that they were friends that met through their spiritual journey on one of these retreats. Just friends. Here are the messages that I came across. I didn't know what to think of it. And that's why I took her word and believed her, because I had no idea what the fuck this meant.
So it's basically just him showing the phone of like weird, like spiritual.
What does that mean?
Drawings and stuff that they're sending back and forth.
What type of language?
They're not that weird. They're just, they look like art to me.
But what does that mean?
He's like,
what this time was going on? It started to show that this is somebody that she was connecting with. And unfortunately, when you guys found out, I found out way, way before then.
Now he's back to crying.
Trying.
He's like, come on, where's that fucking
Please
deer?
force it out.
Please,
like, maybe I can just
please
pinch myself.
We get a divorce and her new partner moves in with her.
His pauses are too much.
Yeah,
I know.
Like, spit it out, bro.
He's getting that runtime up.
Spiritual journey gets worse.
So she didn't really say anything specifically responding to this video, but she did a Q&A on Snapchat, and someone asked what she thought about Austin's reaction to her book.
Be honest, I was expecting it. I've been expecting that kind of reaction for many years, which is why it took me so long to put this out. I think that I was preparing myself and gaining strength to tell my story and to share it with you guys. And I hope that you guys also get to share your stories, because, our stories deserve to be told. And holding something inside of you for so long, eventually everything comes to light. And yeah, I hope that you guys read the whole book. I'm so excited for you guys to.
Maybe we should do a book club.
Book club.
What? I'll do it if we can get cucumber sandwiches and tea again.
Sure. Why not? Fuck it. Let's do it.
Like...
I'll do anything for a cucumber sandwich. I mean, you
That's what I'm
saw
saying.
you saw the last time who did we have on here?
Haley.
Right,
Oh,
Haley.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't it, but it was cucumber sandwiches. I inhaled 10.
They're so fucking good.
So then someone asked if she really thought that she's the Virgin Mary reincarnated, and she basically is like, no, I love the Virgin Mary. I
love her, big fan.
She basically was like, big fan of Virgin Mary. Love her so much. I wear a necklace with Virgin Miss Mary on it. But no, I know that I'm not the actual Virgin Mary. I never said that to him. No.
Yeah. I believe her.
I love the Virgin Mary. I have little statues around my house.
I don't know who that is. Can you explain?
Virgin Mary. She's
Jesus'
mother.
mom.
Jesus' mom. I've told you this story so many times.
Okay.
He
birthed in the manger.
Yeah.
Away in the manger, no crib for a bed. Mary and Joseph.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
She's
big
impregnated
fans.
by an angel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's why she's a virgin. But she had Jesus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Jesus is
that
mom.
Virgin Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's
the one. Got it. Okay. So she talks about him in her book, aside from what we saw. She said they were texting the day before all this and that she still loves him very much. And, she wrote really positive things about him in the book, saying that he was her teacher. Yeah, she says, he is my biggest teacher in life.
Yeah.
So that's really sweet,
It is I will say, it does seem like she is someone who has done a lot of spiritual work and ayahuasca.
She seems very spiritually attuned.
Yeah, the way that she's not responding to this and, she's seemingly very calm. She's on that ayahuasca chill vibe.
Yeah, I agree.
That frequency.
Apparently it's not enough to pull your kids off the internet, but.
So now she got a new BF named Igor.
So this is Igor.
That's
the one in
Igor.
the picture. I love that picture of them basking in the sun. They're like, all right, close your eyes.
They look very angelic there.
Mm-hmm. Great skin. Great skin.
Yeah, great skin.
Both of them.
And yeah, Igor chimed in regarding Austin's comments about Catherine and him doing ayahuasca with a kid who was 12 years old. He says, what you heard on Snapchat was a mix of misinformation, personal bias, and ignorance coming from someone who clearly had no real understanding of the topic. They didn't take the time to research, to study, or to speak with any sense of responsibility. Instead, they spoke with prejudice, manipulating the situation for their own agenda.
Yeah,
and to you, the quote-unquote hater reading this, you were misled. You didn't take the time to verify anything or do your own research. You created an entire distorted narrative in your mind based on the words of someone who has absolutely no authority to speak on something they don't even understand. And one more thing, the boy in the photo he showed is 17 years old and was accompanied by his parents, who were Kat's closest friends. I'm assuming that's Catherine. There's no way a guy that size is only 12. Just take a proper look at the photo. Whatever.
Yeah, so
think about with
whatever.
that. Yeah, whatever.
It's also interesting, too. He had mentioned that she was doing ayahuasca on a weekly basis?
Yeah.
There's no way. Dude, that's so... most shamans would recommend, from what I understand, 3 to 6 months. It is not something that you can, function on a weekly basis.
I don't know.
How would he even know, too?
Yeah.
I just think he's...
It's him trying to add more to the narrative that she's this druggie. So I think what Igor said was spot on.
Yeah.
So when he's saying haters too, is he referring to people that believe Austin? There's people out there that are on Team Austin. Does that exist?
Oh, I'm
Do those people exist?
Of course there are.
God, we live in a world full of dummies.
Well, and there's people who are just oh my God.
Yeah,
Catherine's a druggie doing drugs at the house with the kids.
I just looked it up and it says experts suggest that drinking ayahuasca every few days or once a week is safe.
I also think if you go on a retreat, a lot of times you have to do it more than once. You do it and then the next day or you do something else and the next day after that you do ayahuasca
so that's
again.
Maybe what he meant. Yes, that is.
But I don't know.
I thought he meant on a weekly basis.
Maybe he does mean that.
Microdosing mushrooms or something.
But maybe she does microdose ayahuasca. I didn't know if...
I don't know. I don't know enough about it to
But at the end of the day, what's... You know what I mean? It's not for him to...
Yeah, and honestly, that's a good point, Sydney.
As long as their kids aren't there.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to trip ayahuasca, in my opinion, I don't give a fuck what you want to do with your own body and your own time.
Well, he's just making it out to be she's just this scummy druggie that's doing this in front of their kids, and he's a God-fearing man who's not going to let that happen.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
who's cheating.
No one believes your ass. Well, I guess some people do.
So she supposedly is going to be working on more books, though. I mean, she did say part 1.
Mm-hmm.
More books?
She says, I can't wait till you read the first book first.
Oh my God.
I have more books to come, but for now, I truly feel like I'm about to give birth. I'm just crowning right until July 1st.
She did not say crowning.
She said crowning.
She's in labor.
Amazing. She's in labor.
That's kind of crazy.
He's about to birth the book.
I'm ready for the birth. When's the due date again? July 1st?
Yep.
All right.
She's already crowning.
Ready for it. Oh, wow. That's
1
a long
centimeter dilated
crowning period. It's over a month.
Oh, just kidding. When you're crowning, you're 9 centimeters. So there you go.
I think you're 10.
Oh.
Crowning is when the baby's at the
head.
Right,
the biggest part. The crown.
Right. That's a long crown.
They call it the ring of fire.
Ew.
Yeah, I wanted to die. I actually thought I was going to die when that was happening.
Well, anywho,
going down, down, down.
Yeah. If I ever, give birth, I'm gonna have that song.
Oh, that's the last thing that's gonna be on your mind.
I'm gonna change the song.
Okay. Well, moving on, we have a quick little update on Chris Brown. I just wanted to talk about this. Oh, Chris Brown just continues to go on. And he's had a big year from what I understand. He's released some new music. He's touring.
Yeah, but he got ugly
into
as fuck.
him. Yeah, he's gotten uglier.
No, he's gotten real ugly. That is not a good look for CB.
Have you seen the videos of him flying around at his concerts? They have him on a suspended thing. It's you don't have music that needs you to do this. Why are you doing this? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand how he still has so many fans. Mm-hmm. It comes up on my feed and I'm always like, oh, they're going to get ripped in the comments for saying this. No, people are like, yeah,
love him.
Free Chris.
They were there at the courthouse here and they're like,
free Chris, free Chris.
It's so pathetic. But anyway, he was just arrested on last Thursday, May 15th, in the UK at 2 a.m. at the Lowry Hotel in Salford, Greater Manchester, England, by the Greater Manchester Police, and appeared in court on Friday, May 16th, after being charged with grievous bodily harm, GBH, with intent. So it means causing serious injury on purpose. It's one of the most serious assault charges in the UK system, and if convicted, he could face anywhere from 2 to 16 years in prison. Hoping for the best, not expecting much. Wouldn't that be great? 16 years? He was in the Slammer.
I don't think he'll be his ass is
Isn't
going.
that a large range, though? I thought that was pretty,
Yeah, that
it's
is.
It's also UK justice system, so it might be different than ours.
Yeah.
Oh, it is different than ours, yeah. But his arrest stems from a violent altercation at Tape nightclub in London's Hanover Square back in February of 2023, which this is something that I don't believe was included in the documentary that we covered. Was that already a year ago that we talked about that? Or was that this year.
I thought that was
it was earlier this year.
Yeah.
What was that called? A History of Violence, something like that.
Most violent.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this same incident led to a civil lawsuit filed by music producer Abe Dia. Abe Dia. And that was in November of that year. And in the lawsuit, Abe accuses Chris of beating him unconscious with a bottle of Don Julio.
Not the Don.
Yep. Apparently.
1942, though. It's important.
Right. And Chris continued to ruthlessly stomp on him for 30 seconds.
What the fuck is this guy's fucking problem?
It's not a surprise. I mean, especially if you've seen, go back and watch, what is it called? Chris Brown, A History of Violence? Yeah. Go watch that or watch our episode on it. Like, this man is, I cannot believe people still support him.
He's
a monster.
Monster.
Yeah.
Horrible human being.
Some of the accusations are Diddy level.
So bad.
Or like close.
But yeah, Abe ended up in the hospital with lacerations on his head and torn ligaments in his leg, and he was left with permanent damage and severe emotional distress. Duh.
Yeah.
It's fucking so scary.
Prosecutor Hannah Nichols claimed in court that the attack was caught on security footage. She claimed that Chris hit Abe with the bottle multiple times before chasing him through the club and then allegedly punching and kicking him.
So dangerous.
Yeah, he is. He needs to be locked up. Wouldn't that be amazing if he was locked up?
They have
for 16
video
years?
footage, which is actually pretty crazy for him because he's gotten out of so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's the proof.
Yeah, so maybe this will be it. Because, I mean, from what I've read, or I'm getting ahead of myself. Hang on, let me slow down. But the district court judge, Joanne Hurst, informed Chris that his charges of GBH are too serious to be heard in the magistrate's court. So the Crown Court deals with serious criminal cases like GBH with intent, murder, rape, and armed robbery. And a new date is set for June 13th, coming up here, or I guess like a month away, at the Southwark Crown Court in London. And he's required to stay in custody until the new date, and was also denied bail by the judge, saying that Chris is a flight risk. So I think he's going to be in jail for the next month. And it's a big problem because he's in the middle of his Breezy Bowl XX tour.
Well, he will be once.
Oh, I thought it already started. I keep seeing videos of him on tour.
On his, the UK. I mean, he kicks it off in Amsterdam.
Okay. So, okay. They say it's still this is supposed to celebrate 20 years in the game, and it's still moving forward according to his website, but the tour is set to kick off in Amsterdam on June 8th and then to Germany, and can return to Manchester for shows scheduled on June 15th and 16th. So, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's Breezy Bowl 20 tour, not XX.
Oh, whatever. Breezy Bowl 20. Oh, that would make sense to celebrate 20 years. Right.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I mean, unless there's dates before this on their website, it looks like the next date is June 8th, in Amsterdam.
Good. You little bitch. She's going to have to refund people. Yeah, I saw this girl on TikTok that was like, oh, Chris Brown's in jail, and I have tickets to his concert in August, so I'm going to need him to get out of there immediately. This is like, she was like all pissed off because he's in, like, did these people hear themselves speak? Do you know who you're paying to see?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then there was all these comments that are like, we stand by Chris. Free Chris.
Ew.
And they had
so
thousands
gross.
of likes. I'm just like always so shocked by it.
I'm not. I don't get shocked anymore.
I don't know. There's still a part of me that I guess has some faith in humanity that you wouldn't want to support someone like this. It wasn't just Rihanna. People are always like, oh, that was, how long has it been?
He almost
15,
fucking killed
years?
her, dude.
Yeah, and people try to say, it was that long ago, but there's been
many
so
more
much
victims.
since then.
Many more.
It's a long, well-documented history of shit that goes
like extremely disturbing things.
Yeah.
R-wording.
Mm-hmm. Assault.
Drugs. It's horrible what this fucking person, this monster, has supposedly done.
But they're like, who cares? He can sing and dance real well, so.
No. That's
just like insane. I hate everything. I'm just like, oh, it's so depressing. It's really just so depressing. It must be so hurtful to people out there who have been victims of people like Chris Brown or have been a victim of Chris Brown themselves.
Yeah.
And they have to see people that are like, oh, please let him out so he can dance. Like,
no,
fuck?
literally.
What the fuck?
No, it's fucking bad.
We are so lost as a society.
He's got good moves. He's a great performer.
Yeah. God, this episode was so filled with people I hate and idiots. So many sussy vodkas.
So many sussy vodkas this episode.
Soulless demons. Damn.
Yeah.
The world's depressing these days. And we're here to bring it all to you.
That's right, baby.
I need a cleanse. Okay, one more deep breath before we go.
What did you learn
on this session? What did I learn? That you can do anything.
If you put your mind to it.
You can stand on Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and
not lose any votes
vote for you.
Mm-hmm. Grandma the pussy.
That's what I'm learning.
I learned
there's no
that
cancellation.
I learned that I don't know what the fuck I learned. I didn't learn anything.
You learned about Mother Mary.
I learned about Mother Mary. I learned that Mother Mary has a green and red aura.
I also learned that. I did not know there was an aura. I think she said a hat.
No, it's like a little like a veil. It's a green veil. Is that what Christmas colors? Red and green?
I don't know. I don't think so.
And like the veil thing, like with Mary, like I don't know if it's actually Virgin Mary, but like when they lift the veil above your hair.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's how.
Oh,
it could be totally
is that
wrong.
why people wear veils at weddings so that you were no longer a virgin when they take the veil off? So
I'm pretty positive they have, definitely have something in common.
Green veil, red dress.
It's Virgin Mary.
And it doesn't have to do with Christmas, I looked.
No. And there's like a big crown, gold crown behind her. I love her. I think she's a great lady.
That's interesting, Karelly, that you love her because you're not a
I'm not a Catholic.
A Catholic, sorry. But you're like, but you're not.
But I love a lot of like Catholic imagery and a lot of like the stories. I've always loved her. Also, my grandma's name is Guadalupe and she's named after the Virgin Mary.
Oh.
Because like I said, in Spanish, it's La Virgen de Guadalupe, which is Jesus's mom. Just like a different name, but same person.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to learn more about this from you. I love it. Honestly, I love it. I have her in my house.
We love her.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out, Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
What'd you guys learn?
AKA Catherine.
AKA Catherine. I'm going to put pictures of Catherine in my house instead.
Yes.
There you go. Replace
Virgin
it.
Mary. Yeah.
The updated version.
I learned that I think I need to get on Snapchat and
For fun?
And start making
content.
Money.
Yeah.
That could be good.
You could maybe get a deal.
Yeah.
Got to really commit though.
Yeah.
Lots of time. All right. Karelly, what'd you learn?
I learned that Catherine's real name is Dolores.
Yes, that was a good one.
That's a good one. What did you think it was, Kendall?
Beatrice.
I see it. She looks like a Beatrice. I totally see it.
So funny.
I like the name Beatrice.
And I learned that Austin McBroom doesn't know how to fucking shave his stupid little goatee. That really pissed me off. It's so uneven.
He is such a
you can just lie to get out of things. Just, you don't have to share all the info.
Yeah.
Impossible. Incredible. It's amazing.
Tell us what you learned in the comments below.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
We love you and we'll see you on the next sesh. But until then,
keep it frickety fresh.